Hello, everyone. What is going on? Voodoo here. I am joined by my co-host, Brandon.
Hello, how is it going?
Welcome back to Voodoo's Brew. It's been a very long time. The last brew we actually did was recapping the trip last year,
Wow.
and that's almost been a year.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievably so. But
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like that, but
yeah, I mean, we've already gone through a whole another year of school, graduated, all that for me. So, of course, now my dogs choose to bark when we start recording. They were
yeah.
quiet the whole time, and now they're gonna start barking.
He's like, hey, he's recording. Let me bark.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. um, so this is episode 16 of Voodoo's Brew. This is the recap and reaction video to the press conferences of E3 2014. If you've seen our previous E3 videos, you know how this is going to go. If you haven't, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running down the 4 major press conferences that were held on Monday, which would be Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, and Sony. We're going to be running down in order, announcement by announcement, recapping, and just giving our thoughts on what was said. So, I mean, initial thoughts, I honestly thought, since we've been doing this, that this was probably the best E3 we have to cover.
Right, yeah.
Just because this E3 was focused on games for the most part.
Yeah, I'd say 90%, even more like 95% of the whole entire 4 conferences were games.
Yeah. And I mean, there was some nonsense, some bullshit here and there. There always has to be. But for the most part, that wasn't the focus.
Yeah, surprisingly, most of the nonsense was from Sony.
Yeah, they had a big section of their conference that was pretty boring.
Yeah.
Ubisoft has some stupid stuff, but
yeah.
No celebrities coming out on stage and doing all kinds of stupid random stuff. Not one mention of the Kinect.
Thank God.
Nothing about the Move. I think I heard the word smart glass once.
God, I don't even think I remember hearing that.
It was just about games.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
That's how E3 should be.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're gonna go ahead and start. Really, they seem to do the same order of press conferences now every E3.
Yeah.
They always start with Microsoft. So let's go ahead and start with Microsoft. Interesting because really for the first 2 times, let me rephrase that. For the first time, both Microsoft and Sony had new sort of heads of their gaming divisions and new presenters. And of course, Microsoft's press conference last year was a tremendous flop. They got rid of... Go ahead.
I mean, it was a flop, because of the Xbox One, but it did have a lot of games. They did talk about a lot of games, and
they did introduce games, but
yeah,
a lot of last year's was about the Xbox One and about the TV,
mm-hmm.
and that kind of stuff. But they didn't have a good time at E3 last year.
It was a flop compared to Sony's,
yeah, they took a lot of heat for a lot of the stuff that they said, but anyway, Don Matrick is gone. Some think he left. I personally think that they kicked him out.
As they should have.
However you want to look at it, he's gone. They got Phil Spencer, who's the new head. I remember him presenting at other Microsoft conferences for certain parts, but now he's the lead guy. So we wanted to see what direction Microsoft is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they started off in a really good way because Phil Spencer comes out, and the first thing he says in the conference is that this conference is going to be nothing but games.
Yep, I was really happy to hear that.
Yeah, he said the entire briefing is going to be dedicated to games. And I think they followed up on that. Their entire conference was just talking about games.
Yep.
Which, from Microsoft, was welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what did they start off with games? Well, of course, as we all kind of figured they'd start off with, it was Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare. Now, they actually did have gameplay. They had a gameplay demo. And we were talking a little bit about this before we started filming. But, you know, it looks like there's some different stuff. They have changed a little bit of the interface. It's definitely a futuristic type of game. But the atmosphere sort of feels different than Black Ops 2, which was a futuristic game.
Mm-hmm.
But I was telling Brandon this before. I was like, you know, it's Call of Duty, and I've been told too many times that they're different, that they're changing, and really until they prove that to me, I'm not going to take their word for anything. So to me, I think it's just going to be Call of Duty.
Yeah, I thought it was the graphics were really nice. Like you can tell they really started to work on the next generation of consoles with this game. But just the gameplay is just, you know, it's like overdone, and you know, it becomes, you know, monotonous, and like, you know, I don't know, I just like Call of Duty became boring to me after Black Ops 1. I tried out Modern Warfare 3, and I was like, Jesus, it is like just like Modern Warfare 2, and you know, in Black Ops, you know, you just go into certain areas of a certain country, you shoot a couple of guys, you get an objective, and you lose a teammate or two, and you know, they try to appeal to your emotions, which they really don't. And you know, I don't know, I mean, I think the graphics are really nice on the game, and you know, if you're a really big fan of Call of Duty, it's going to be right up your alley. But you know,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, thankfully, they didn't do it like last year where they put so much emphasis on it, and they talked about the freaking dog and the moving fish.
Right.
And they really kind of made a fool out of themselves last year.
Mm-hmm.
And the game didn't do well, Ghosts.
Oh, no, it didn't.
Now,
I heard it. Yeah.
I played Ghosts. I couldn't tell you from playing every Call of Duty since Black Ops 1 what was so different about Ghosts that people had a problem with. I mean, to me, it felt just like all the Call of Duties I'd played.
Yeah.
But the fanboys didn't like it for some reason. I couldn't tell you why.
Maybe they're starting to get the idea it's the same shit over and over. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, even they might be getting tired of it, which is impressive.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I just think Call of Duty needs to go in a different direction, like how Battlefield Hardline is, you know, doing a different kind of a spin-off to Battlefield. Like I think they need to steer away from the soldiers and the futuristic plot and stuff. You know, I just think they need to do something different with it. You know, spice it up, like, I guess. And
yeah, either that or just start a new franchise.
Yeah, start a whole.
It's been going on so long, and they've just run out of ideas.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see how it is. Right now, I mean, certainly with all these other games that we'll be going over, and they're coming out at the end of the year, I have no interest in playing Call of Duty right now. There's tons of other games coming out around that time that I'd rather play.
Right, yeah, same here.
So we'll just have to see with Call of Duty, but I'm expecting it to be the same stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so after that, they came out and talked about another Microsoft staple, which is Forza.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing they announced was that for Forza 5, which is the current Forza game out, that there would be a new add-on map, which is the Nürburgring, a very famous racetrack in Germany, I believe. And it was pretty cool because they said it was free.
Yeah, and it's available that day, today.
Yeah, it's already available for free. So you can't turn your nose up at something free.
Right, which is really cool.
So fans of Forza should enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. And then they came out and announced that another Forza was coming out. It's called Forza Horizon 2. I don't know the difference between Horizon and the normal regular Forza. I have no idea.
Horizon, I think the last Horizon came out before Forza 5, and it's an open world driving game, sort of like in the same, like, you know, I think you know what the Crew is, and that's right. Like what I guess the same idea is, and it's going to be in Eastern Europe. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, if you like racing games and open
Yeah,
world, it's like really
it's
cool.
Forza.
Yeah, it's Forza
I,
with
I
an
mean,
open
yeah,
world map and a whole bunch of cars. So
right. So nothing much to say here. If you like Forza, obviously you'll probably get this game. It
yeah,
is slated for release September the 30th. So that's coming out this year.
yep.
Um, then they went in and showed a trailer of a game that honestly I wish they had showed more of because
Hmm.
I'm interested in it. It's a game called Evolve, which we heard about either last E3 or sometime. But this is the game where you have it's a multiplayer type deal where you can either be the one monster who's like this giant crazy looking monster, or you can be part of a 4 human team that hunts the monster
Yep.
throughout these like jungle areas, and
That's
at least that's
awesome.
what we've seen.
And
Um,
yeah, and they unveiled a new monster that you can become. It's called the Kraken. And I guess you can fly and
Damn.
yeah, you can hover over the people. I mean, it looks freaking cool. Like
Yeah.
the 4 different characters is like a trapper,
Yeah, it's class based.
yeah, hunter, a like artillery guy, and like a support class. And it looks really cool. I'm definitely gonna be buying this game, and yeah, it looks awesome. A really
Yeah, the
cool,
game
like
looks
different
cool.
type of multiplayer experience.
Yeah, I just I'd like to see more of the game. I'd like to see more of the gameplay of it and maybe some different locations.
Yeah, I actually saw
Because
some Xbox One footage of it, and it looks stunning. Like the
yeah,
graphics are amazing. It runs really smooth, like surprisingly, on the Xbox One
yeah, I
too.
want
So
to know though, like, is this going to be something with like Titanfall, where this is going to be a multiplayer only game? Is it going to be
yeah,
a full $60 release? What's the deal?
yeah, I'm not entirely. I mean, I think it's just a multiplayer game, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be a full $60 or
Yeah,
what. But
because
yeah,
I'm kind of like a full $60 for just a multiplayer game. This better be like a very intensive multiplayer game with tons of maps and
hmm
reasons to replay and all kinds of stuff. But so far, honestly, we've only seen one game mode, pretty much.
yeah. I think there's gonna be different modes, like different types of ways you can interact. I think there's gonna be modes where there's no monster. I'm not sure, but there's only gonna be 3 monsters in the game. So they've unveiled 2 of them already.
Yeah,
They're waiting to unveil the third one. But yeah, I think it's gonna have different game modes in it, and you know, and it's gonna have another monster. But I'm not sure what the other modes are exactly. So I
yeah.
don't know. We're just gonna have to
Well,
see it closer to release.
I'm definitely interested in it. I'd like to see a little bit more, but from what it was just a trailer.
Hmm.
But from what they showed, I'm interested in the game for sure.
Yeah, same here.
Um, so the next game was mentioned, I think, at 3 of the 4 conferences,
Yeah.
which was really our first good look at Assassin's Creed Unity, which is, of course, this year's Assassin's Creed. It was already announced, leaked or whatever. We already knew about it, but it's going to be during the French Revolution, and they showed a demo. And what was neat about the demo was they introduced what I guess is their new main feature of Assassin's Creed Unity, which is
Hmm.
4-player co-op. So it was a mission more or less where they had 4 guys coming together to assassinate a target, and they were running through the streets of Paris or what I guess in France,
Yeah.
and running through the crowds outside of protesters, up buildings, and then they ran into this area that looked kind of like a palace area, and they were running around taking dudes out left and right, and managed to get to the guy, and it was kind of brutal because they
Yeah.
like picked the dude up and threw him over the balcony
Yeah. It's fucking
to where
brutal.
all the protesters were, and they freaking put his head on a spike. It was a really cool trailer or demo,
Yeah.
I should say. The thing for me is they didn't really explain how the co-op is integrated into the game.
Hmm.
So I don't know if this is something that you do as part of the campaign, or if this is a separate multiplayer mode where you just have co-op missions.
Right.
I really don't know, and they really never explained it fully.
Yeah, I'm not
So
sure. I don't know. I think it's really cool. I mean, if it's part of the main campaign, that's freaking awesome. You can play it with your friends. I mean, it'd be kind of disappointing if it was just like a separate mode because it's like, well, I think it's really cool if you can experience the entire story with your friends. Like, you can plan out how you want to attack the certain people and get through the campaign, which would be really
yeah.
awesome. I mean, I was like with the last Assassin's Creed 4 where they ported it to PS4. I mean, it looked really good, but it just looked like an up-resed version of Assassin's Creed 4 from the PS3. And
Hmm.
this really looks next gen to me. Like the
Yeah.
lighting looks amazing, the way that the sun comes through the windows and hits the floor, and the smoke effects in the game, and there's just the character models in the game, and
Yeah.
the amount of AI on the screen is just really impressive. And like I'm really considering getting this game too. I don't know, it
Yeah.
really.
It looks good. Um, for me, I've been on record as saying that I'm kind of getting tired of the whole Assassin's Creed thing because they have so many now. They come out every year.
Yeah,
I tried to play 3. I tried to play 4 and couldn't
three
get
was
into
awful.
it.
Three was awful.
Um, but at least with this game, it kind of looks maybe like they're going back to the roots a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It reminds me of like this just the setting. It looks really similar to two, and I love two. So
Yeah. I mean, they're
it's
going
really
back
cool.
to older Europe and the urban environments,
Hmm.
like it used to be.
Yep.
Um, and I know that they added like the ship and the seafaring and all that, the last two that people liked and all that, but I never really got into it
Yeah, me
because
neither.
it just felt like adding stuff to Assassin's Creed to be adding stuff, and you kind
Yeah.
of lost that whole urban environment sort of deal when you're running through a forest.
Yeah, and in this game, I noticed that they actually added like a cover based system, which I don't think they had in. I
Yeah,
don't. Did they have them in other Assassin's Creed? I don't
I
remember.
none that I remember.
Yeah, and I noticed that I was like, wow, that's what I think Assassin's Creed needs. If
Oh yeah, I don't
yeah,
understand how you have a stealth game without a cover system.
yeah, that was shock. I was like, God, that's right. They never had a cover base.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just took
I'm
me by
just
surprise.
I don't know how, like, if you had 4 players though trying to do assassination, I guess you're not doing it stealthily.
Yeah. Well, I think
Because good
what you
luck
want to
getting
do is
4.
find like a vantage point and then like plan out what you want to do and then just execute it. You
Yeah,
can't really just sneak around and get them. You just got to like
it
be
better be with your friends
surprised.
too,
Yeah.
because you're gonna have some trolls
Oh
online
yeah.
who just
I'm
screw
sure.
people up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna try and fuck up your game, which would be
Right.
awful.
But it's a neat idea, you know.
Yeah. Really
And
cool.
certainly Assassin's Creed Unity has piqued my interest because I did really, really enjoy Assassin's Creed 2. I liked 1, it was okay, but I really loved 2.
Yeah. Same here.
Revelation I thought was really good, so I'd love to get back in and actually play through a full Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It's just after Ezio's story ended, it never really gripped me again. But maybe
Same here.
this is the game, since I've taken a couple of years off, of that will kind of return to the European urban roots and be a game that gets me back into the series. So
Yeah, that'd be awesome to play co-op. It'd be really fun.
yeah, it would be really fun. So I'm looking forward to it. So after this, they showed a trailer for Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't know much about Dragon Age because I've never played them. So if there's new stuff that they're showing or whatever, it's lost on me.
Yeah.
But what Brandon and I were talking is about, they've showed this game a couple times. They showed it at the EA conference as well. And graphically, the game looks terrible to me. I mean, maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe there's a reason, but it looks bad.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it looks terrible, but it just doesn't.
Well,
it doesn't like. God,
compared to some of the other games we saw that are running next gen,
Yeah, it just doesn't look as impressive as other games to me.
no, it looks like current gen.
Right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does. With
And it's
I
like,
mean, maybe
well,
up res because you can't really tell online, but I mean,
yeah,
it just doesn't look like wow, that's next gen. It's.
it was
I
not
mean,
very
like Witcher
textured
3
detailed,
looks
but
next gen. I mean,
yeah,
this,
Witcher 3, a lot of the other games we saw,
mhm.
like Assassin's Creed. I mean, you could tell
Yeah.
watching it the difference between Assassin's Creed, Evolve,
Oh, yeah.
Forza, even Advanced Warfare to an extent compared
Oh,
to
yeah.
this game.
Yeah, this game is just like I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
maybe
It was kind of
if you've
rough.
played the other Dragon Age and you see this, you're like, wow, that's so much better than the other ones. But I mean, we
Hmm.
haven't played it, so I mean, maybe we're
Yeah,
not
I'm
the
just
best
going
to,
off
yeah,
comparing
say
it,
it. But
but yeah, Inquisition. Like I said, a lot of that's lost on me because I didn't play
yeah,
the other games. Then we had a segment that was largely devoted to a game, Sunset Overdrive, which is Insomniac. They're making it, and it makes sense to devote a lot of time here because it's an Xbox exclusive. So the first thing they did
yeah,
was show a trailer, and I think they kind of set the tone of the game with the trailer.
definitely,
Obviously, it's supposed to be a humorous game,
yeah,
very cartoonish, and they just showed the trailer of this soldier guy. He's like he's getting owned down by these bandits or whatever in a warehouse, and he's all like tense and he can't kill him. And all of a sudden, this dude comes in who's just making jokes and wisecracking. He's running around and he like slaughters all the bandits, and tells you that basically the city is been infected with something that turns people into mutants or whatever, and you need to save the city.
yeah. It's
And
energy drink.
that's the trailer.
Mhm.
And then they ran a demo of it, and the game obviously seems open world to me.
Yeah,
And one of the notes I made that I really noticed was that there was a lot of freedom of movement in the game.
definitely, yeah.
It seemed like you can just jump over stuff, grind on lines and stuff, and very seamlessly.
Yeah.
Ran very smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it looks just like a fun kind of, obviously not a very serious game of
Yeah.
just blowing stuff up and very colorful environments and that kind of thing.
Yeah, with this game, it's it's gonna be open world, and I guess how there's mutants is it's due to this the energy drink that the guy showed, and it's gonna, I guess the story is gonna focus on the company that manufactures the drinks, and like how they're like corrupt, and like how you kind of dig into that, figure out how their greed kind of like screwed the whole town up, and
Yeah,
it looks
basically it
super
reminds me of
fun.
the story of the new Devil May Cry reboot. It was pretty much the same idea. They tainted
really?
a soft drink and were mind
Oh.
controlling everyone.
That's funny.
So
Yeah, but I think it looks really, really like it looks awesomely like colorful, and looks really fun to play. So it really looks really cool.
yeah, so that's, like I mentioned, Xbox exclusive.
Hmm.
They moved on to talk about some weird Dead Rising 3 DLC from Capcom because it's, I don't know, because it is Capcom and they're weird. It's like Ultra Super Turbo Dead Rising 3 Alpha something.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned, but Sunset Overdrive comes out October 20th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
October
Dead. I was like,
28th.
what the? I guess they're poking fun at themselves, Capcom, with the title.
Capcom, yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
with the Dead
And
Rising.
they're like, oh yeah, this unannounced DLC is now out today.
yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
And
I like how,
everybody's like,
how some companies do that.
What is this? Like, it just
Yeah,
adds
I don't.
Capcom characters to Dead Rising 3.
Yeah, I guess you're like Dead Rising 3 like canon characters, but you're dressed up as like other games that Capcom has made, and you just like, I don't know, it looks like I don't know, it looks kind of like just a destruction mode in Dead Rising 3. I don't know.
I don't
but
know what it is.
It didn't really interest me, so
Yeah,
but
it's really
I thought it was really
oddly
cool.
placed,
Yeah, it really was.
and it just like plays the trailer, and then you're just like, okay.
I mean, it's like
Sorry,
it was
just the
after
mic.
Sunset Overdrive, which looks really like fun, and like it's like really
Yeah,
next
it
gen. Then
was just-
they showed this that just like,
It was like, what the fuck?
yeah. But I like how
So-
they said it was available now and you can download it, which is cool.
Yeah. So then they had Harmonix come out, right? Harmonix makes these games.
Yeah.
And they announced some Disney Fantasia music evolved game, which
Yeah.
they didn't say anything about. They were just like, here you go.
Yeah.
And of course, they announced a new Dance Central Spotlight, but this is going to be a digital-only game.
Yep.
And that's all I have written because it's Dance Central.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad. I mean, not really. I mean, I think it's like kind of fucked up what Microsoft did with the Kinect. They actually just took this out and didn't tell Harmonix about it. Like they didn't tell anybody that was developing any Kinect game about it. So like
Yeah.
when they announced that like I guess their Twitter was like, "Oh, great. Like what the hell?" I mean, and yeah, I guess they
Oh yeah, Harmonix was pissed at him.
yeah, I guess they're like a lot of people are interested in the Disney Fantasia and stuff, so they're like that. I guess it was going to probably do well now that everyone had a Kinect,
Right.
and I guess like Harmonix was kind of betting, some good money on that game for the Xbox One, but yeah, I guess Microsoft kind of screwed them, but
Well, that's Microsoft. They've never really showed that they cared
yeah,
about screwing people over.
in a way, I feel bad for them, but then again, it's like good. So like now people will actually look at the Xbox more and be like, at least it's same price as it doesn't have that shitty Connect with it. So I mean,
Right.
in a way, it sucks for them, but in a way, it's kind of like it had to be done.
Yeah, but anyway, there you go.
Yeah, there's a Dance Central and Disney Fantasia. I guess they're going to be available, or Dance Central is going to be available September. So if you're interested in that, cool.
Everybody celebrate.
Everybody dance.
Everybody dance all over the place. All right. So then they moved on and announced a game that is part of a long-running series on Xbox. It's a new Fable called Fable Legends. And what they showed of the game looked like a multiplayer aspect of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Where you teamed up with 3 other people. It's four-player co-op. And I guess you're just trying to complete some sort of objective. I don't really.
Yeah, I guess there's another player that's the villain, which is like a common theme, or like more of a common theme now, where like people can be the villain and they set up traps. It's kind of like an RTS game where you put like certain traps in certain places to kill the other players, which is kind of cool. But like I guess you do it. Well, they're saying if you can. They're saying like they didn't know for sure, but they think you can do it on glass or whatever, smart glass, and set up traps for the other players to encounter and try and get through, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I guess you're just trying to get to the end of the map or whatever, and destroy some sort of thing. I don't know, but I don't know. It's kind of fun.
So I had asked this from Brandon because I don't really know, but apparently what he tells me is that this will be a full-fledged Fable game with the campaign and all like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't really mention that in the conference.
Yeah, I saw
So
an
it's
interview
just
and the
kinda
guy was saying they do want to do like a full-fledged game and have the Fable campaign and they don't have a release date for it yet. They're not like I don't think they're really close to finishing the game.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have a multiplayer beta in October. So yeah, I don't know. Seems cool.
All right.
Really nice
there's a new
graphics.
Fable.
It's running on Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah. Finally a Fable that's not whatever that Connect thing they were going to do with Fable.
Yeah, what the hell was that about? I'm sure that was utterly awful. It was on the last Connect, so it was probably like the worst fucking thing ever.
So anyway, then they moved on to talk about an interesting game that has had some hype in the community. It's called Project Spark, which they talked about last year, I think. And this is the game that allows you to design your own game levels and let other people play them. Again, it was basically a trailer, not really gameplay of it.
Yeah.
And it was just a trailer of 2 people, playing in each other's game or whatever.
Yeah.
And then randomly, they're like, "Oh, Conker's gonna be in this one."
Yeah, I'm like,
from like Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, I love that game. I had that on my original
like,
Xbox. That game was awesome.
But it's like, what does that have to do with Project Spark?
Yeah, I mean, Project Spark reminds me. reminds me of like Microsoft's answer to Little Big Planet, kind of. Like you can create your
Yeah,
own stuff, and like they showed like different things you can do. You can do like an arcade shooter. It's kind of like Little Big Planet, and then they
right.
show Conquer, which is like an M game.
Right, yeah, it's an adult
So
game put
yeah,
in like a kiddie situation.
how is this gonna
So that's
go
a weird
together?
fit.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't
And
think
like,
it's
where did
gonna
they get
work
that
out.
idea? They were just like, oh, you know what? We need to
Throw
put Conquer
Conquer.
in another game.
Yeah, instead of making him
Project
his a
Spark.
new game, we'll just throw him in Project Spark. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
why not? Let's just pick a game.
Just pick a
Like throw them in
game.
like
Fable
Assassin's
Legends,
Creed or
no.
something. You have
Oh,
to like
okay, let's throw him in
assassinate
Project
Conquer.
Spark. Oh man.
That's weird.
Yeah.
They showed a game that I guess is an indie game. It looks like
Yeah.
an indie game.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
called
really good. It looks really good.
Ori or Ori and the Blind
Yeah.
Forest. I thought it was pretty funny because when I was watching the show, um, it was on Spike, and at the bottom they have like the running line of news
Yeah.
when they announce stuff. And the first time it went across, it said Ori and the Bling Forest announced.
What the
I'm like,
what the
the
hell?
Bling Forest?
Bling bling,
Like,
bitch.
did you really think it was called Bling?
Yeah.
Like, it's not called the Bling Forest. It's called the Blind
Ori and the
Forest.
Bling Forest.
Ori and the Bling Forest.
Oh my god.
And
It looks really good though.
yeah, it looks like a 2D adventure.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything like Child of Light was, it'll
Oh,
be great.
dude,
'Cause
I
that
just
game
got
was
back into that
fantastic.
game. Oh my god. It's
I
awesome.
love that game. Yeah,
That game is
it's
awesome.
a fantastic game. So that's coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out fall 2014, so
Yeah, so pretty soon.
yep.
And then they made big announcements as far as Halo is concerned.
Yep.
So the new Halo they're working on is called Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah.
And they really didn't say anything about that game.
Yeah, they really I was surprised by that actually.
I wrote this down. It's pretty funny because as they were talking about Guardians,
Mhm.
they immediately just spoil the end of Halo 4. Like,
Oh, I know. I was like,
she
what
just
the
straight
hell?
gives away the
Yeah, I
end of
was
the
like,
game.
Like, what the hell's up with the spoilers, man? This is
I know.
E3, E3 of spoilers. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like, well, gee, I hope that you're caught up on Halo.
Yeah, if you were
Because
looking to buy this
here's the
collection
end of
to
Halo
catch up
4.
on Halo,
Yeah,
they ruined it
and
for
was,
you.
It was funny because the next thing they announced is the Halo Master Chief Collection,
Yeah.
which has all the games on it, but it's like, well, thanks, but now I don't need to play them because
Yeah,
I know how
thanks,
Halo 4 ends.
Spoiled the whole series.
Yeah.
She really did just spoil the whole
Yeah,
series
she
there.
just spoiled everything. And it's funny because she didn't even say, like, spoiler alert. No, she's just like, oh, here's the end of Halo 4.
Yeah, here you go. If you didn't play it, well,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Right. It's like, well, thanks, lady.
Yeah, thanks. I was actually gonna buy this to catch up on the series, but I guess I could have.
Yeah, but thanks.
You ruined
Now
it
I
in
know
5
the ending
seconds
of
for me.
4 games. But anyway.
Wow.
So, yeah, Halo Master Chief Collection. Big news. I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I really did.
So, it contains Halos 1, 2, 3, and 4.
hmm
And they're all going to run in their own engines.
Yep.
They're going to run at 1080p, 60 frames a second. They're
look
going to
awesome.
have all the multiplayer maps they've ever had available.
I think it's
and-
100 multiplayer maps.
Yeah, it's
Holy
crazy.
shit.
And Halo 2 is now getting the same treatment that Halo 1 got for Halo Anniversary.
Yep.
So they're completely redoing the graphics of Halo 2. They're going to make them all HD. And they're going to have the same thing where you can switch back and forth between the remake graphics and the original graphics.
Yep.
So
And,
it's basically going to include
And I guess
Halo.
they're gonna have with Halo 2 like what they did with Halo 1, with Halo 1 when Halo 4 was coming out, they're gonna have little snippets of the story and kind of like get you prepared for Halo 5 with
Yeah.
Halo 2, which is pretty cool.
So it's going to be Halo Anniversary, Halo 2, the HD remake,
Yeah.
and then Halo 3 and 4, and they mentioned that they're bringing back the original multiplayer from Halo 2.
Yeah, because they just recently took down the servers for that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're bringing it back, and basically for anyone who's a fan of Halo and wants to have everything that was basically made in Halo, involving the Chief in one disc. This is for you, and for those who are not caught up on Halo, you have one disc now where you can make up the entire experience.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And I think it's really cool. It's coming out this year, right? November 11th?
Yeah, November
like
11th. Uh-huh.
Right. So that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and I guess with this, they're gonna have like a thing where you can put all the like campaign missions that are like that you loved or like that were really important to you. You could put in a playlist and just play through like every moment that you loved in Halo straight through, which is freaking awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I've really never seen a collection done that well.
Oh yeah, I mean it's actually really impressive. How much?
I mean, I guess
like,
the Mass Effect collection for PS
and it's
PlayStation that just came out is pretty good. But I mean, this collection has 4 games, all the multiplayer you could ever want.
Oh yeah.
Redone, all the game or the first 2.
Yeah.
And 1080p, 60 frames. I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah, and it's so like it's such a true like remastering that in the multiplayer you can actually do the same bugs, like the same glitches and stuff, whatever, that you could do in the multiplayer when it was first released.
Yeah, it's literally
awesome.
the multiplayer as it was on Halo 2.
Exactly, that's awesome.
So, at least they're finally providing us maybe some reasons to buy an Xbox One.
Yeah.
For games like, the Halo collection, which is something I'd love to play because I never have played Halo.
Yeah, that's really cool.
To have that kind of collection would be really, really neat.
Yeah.
So, I think that was one of the biggest announcements of the conference.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I thought that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So then from there they moved on and talked about another indie game called Inside from the makers of Limbo.
Back to Halo. I think they announced as well that they're going to do like a series, Halo Nightfall, and it's going to have the Halo 5 series. Beta.
And a Halo 5 beta.
Yeah, it's coming this holiday, so that's pretty cool.
Or beta, as the guy from Ubisoft said.
Beta.
A Halo beta. And they have the live action series.
Yeah.
And all that
that's
kind of
cool.
stuff. Which is, I guess, is another one, because didn't they already have a Halo live action series?
Yeah, I think Steven Spielberg was going to direct it or something. I don't know. I think they announced that with last E3. I don't know. They didn't mention it. So.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still doing it, but
anyway. I don't know.
Okay, so back to Inside from the makers of Limbo. And it was funny because Phil Spencer kept changing his shirt.
Yeah.
His outfit the whole conference. Like every time he'd come out, he was wearing a different shirt. This time he had a Limbo shirt on.
Yeah.
And basically the game looks like Limbo.
Yeah.
It's sort of a different style because there's color now and, actual graphics.
Yeah.
But the gameplay looks extremely similar to Limbo.
Yeah, same vein as Limbo.
Right. So it's I think it's a spiritual successor, basically, to Limbo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it should be pretty cool because I thought Limbo was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
looks interesting.
Right. And then they had sort of a montage of a bunch of independent games because Microsoft now is trying to push their support for indie.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation did a really good job of this last year, and so I think Xbox is now trying to
catch up
in that area and show their support through their ID at Xbox or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't write any of the actual names down. They just showed off a bunch of indie games that were coming to Xbox.
One game that really interests me because I've been following it kinda is Below, and I guess it's like a Dark Souls, like a Dark Souls indie game where like you go onto this island and you have to like go through the island, but it's like super fucking hard, and it's got like the same idea like where you save at like campfires or whatever, just like Dark Souls. I don't know, it looks really good, and when you die, you're dead. Like your character's dead. You drop all your loot, and then you come back as a new character to the island. You have to like retrace your steps, or no, you start at the campfire, the last campfire you're at, and you have to find your body and regain all your stuff and keep moving on.
So it's basically a mix between Dark Souls and Zombie U.
Zombie
because that's
U.
how Zombie U did it.
Oh
When you
yeah,
got
yeah, that's
killed,
right. Yeah,
you
yeah,
dropped all your
that's
stuff and you had to go find it as a new
yeah. It's
person.
just like that, and it's like it's really has a really good art style, really good music. It's the guy that did the music for Indie Game the movie, which was a really good movie.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like you look really small on the island, which is kind of like what they wanted to go for. They want to make you feel small compared to everything around you.
Yeah,
So it's a really interesting game. So it's a really interesting looking indie game.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
So they showed off those indie games, and then they made an announcement of a new game that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, same here.
Kind of out of the blue, but they announced Rise of the Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
which is a sequel to Tomb Raider that came out last year, which
Yeah.
is the reboot.
hmm
Which
It looks.
I really really enjoyed the game.
Yeah, same here. I rented it and I loved it. It was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really really good.
hmm
That was actually the first game I did direct capture on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a
And,
really good game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So
And
I'm go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, you can go.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say I'm really glad that oh, my computer's on turbo fan mode. Oops. I'm really glad to see a sequel.
Oh yeah.
Crystal Dynamics I thought did a really good job with the first one,
Yeah, it was
so
really
I
good
think
game.
the second
Surprising.
one is probably gonna be good too.
Yeah, with this game, it's really cool because she's like it showed her in counseling because
Yeah,
like what
she's
she
getting
went through.
therapy.
Yeah, what she went through was like really traumatic for her because it was like her first real like experience. Like it was a traumatizing experience for her. So it shows her in counseling and like it shows her like dealing with the problem, and then I don't know. I guess it's like the start of her tomb raiding, like the actual,
Yeah,
which is really
it's
cool. I think it's going to be really interesting.
they're making a really good deep story out of Tomb
Yeah,
Raider,
yeah,
and they're
definitely.
not focusing on look boobies.
Yeah,
And
and like she was hot, but she wasn't
oh yeah,
like super like she didn't have huge
Yeah.
tits and like
no, she's
she was
very
like
attractive.
she looked normal. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
was
looks like a
attractive. She
normal
looked
girl.
normal, and I think it was a really good game. The first one.
Yeah, I think the sequel's going to be good.
Oh yeah.
So I was happy to see that. And then they demoed a game we've been hearing a lot about,
Yeah.
which is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
hmm
And the demo was you basically tracking a griffin
Yeah.
to kill it. And you were using some kind of second sense to see the blood trail.
Yeah. I
of the
guess like
griffin
you
as
shot
was
it.
flying
and,
away.
yeah, it showed you the blood trail of where it was heading.
Yeah. And
Um,
while you were tracking it, you ran into this sort of side mission where you
Yeah.
had to rescue this girl from this camp that bandits had taken over.
Yeah.
And then you just continued on your mission. So I guess it's
My
showing
God, that was fucking brutal. The way he cut the guy in half.
oh yeah,
cut the guy straight in half.
yeah. And the girl's like, "Oh, thanks.
He's like, I'll be back later just to check
Yeah,
on you.
I'll just be back later just to see if there's anybody else I can cut in half."
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah.
But it's kind of cool because I guess it's showing like as you're doing one mission, you can run across other ones that you can do on your way.
Yeah, that's
And,
really cool.
And apparently, the guy who was doing the demo mentioned he's like, "Yeah, she's an herbalist. So now that we've freed her, we can go back to her later and buy stuff and all that."
Yeah, by like I guess like health potions or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And,
I mean, this game really looks like what they're saying is gonna be like a crowning jewel in the RPG like genre, and it looks awesome. Like the graphics are. I mean, this is running on Xbox One, which I mean, it's true. It's the weakest out of all the consoles, like PC, PS4, and Xbox, and it still looked amazing.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, like the lighting, the way it was cutting through the blades of grass, and they said like you can go anywhere. Like they said like those mountains in the background, you can go there and go on top of them and search them. I mean, it looks really really cool.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're gonna make the game a little bit more accessible.
Yeah.
Because The Witcher 2 was a little bit complicated, in my opinion, to get into.
Right. Yeah, I heard that
And-
that this is like a good standalone.
Yeah, since this is really the first one that they're making for consoles.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
The Witcher 2 was originally PC, and then they ported it
Yeah.
But this one they're actually making for the console audience as well, so maybe they'll kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, but dumb it down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would. I mean, this is a game that really screams like an HD remake or whatever for consoles. So like, they could release it the first two games, and people could catch up on it while they're making this game. Because it's not coming out till February or something.
Yeah.
So I wish they would announce something like that. But
Yeah, but anyway, the game looks good.
it was
And
really good.
he had some kind of epic fight with the Griffin at the end and cut his head off and
Yeah, that was awesome.
brought it back into town. So that's that. A few more announcements. They announced Phantom Dust, which is I guess is an old game they're bringing back, or is it something
Yeah.
new?
Yeah, I was in the Xbox on the original Xbox. I have no idea what it is though.
I don't know what Phantom Dust is. I don't even remember the trailer.
It was like this guy sitting on a bench, and then this girl starts running at him, shooting stuff at him, and he like.
Oh yeah. It kind of looked like a Japanese sort of art style.
Right, yeah,
They were
and
doing.
I don't know.
They were
I think it's a
fighting
fighting game.
101.
Is it a fighting game? Because I
I
think it's
don't
made by the
know.
people that made Killer Instinct. So I don't know.
That would be rare, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking on my computer right now, just to see if I can find out even what kind of game it is because Phantom
I
Dust. Let's see.
think it's a fighting game.
It was licensed. It's definitely Japanese.
Yeah.
It's action strategy.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It almost looks like an RTS
Oh.
type of game. I don't know. They didn't show gameplay. They just showed a
Yeah, I wish it would explain what it is.
trailer.
I mean, this is like this was like way back in first Xbox, like early games. So I don't know. I wish they would have said what it.
Designed by Yukio Futatsugi, the original game. So I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Then they showed a demo of The Division from Tom Clancy, another game I'm looking forward to.
That game looks awesome.
There really wasn't anything new in this demo.
Yeah,
It was
it
sort
really
of-
was just like the last demo they showed.
Yeah, they had the talking back and forth that I remember last year. We didn't know if that was the voice acting or anything. It's not.
Yeah, it's not there.
That's just-
it's recorded, I think.
Yeah, it's scripted
Yeah.
players
Because
talking.
nobody talks like that when you're playing.
No.
You're usually sitting there just like, hey, so did you watch the last episode? Dude, can you get that guy? I mean, you don't really say like, okay, I'm gonna move up on the left. I'm gonna use my turret. I'm gonna put on. It's like, no, it's not how it
It's
goes.
like,
But
Jesus Christ, you're an asshole.
yeah, what the dude? Are you serious? You didn't kill it? You know?
Have you ever heard of Cover?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a little joke.
Yeah.
Previous thing. But yeah, so it basically showed the same thing they showed last year.
Yeah. It just
Not
looks
much
pretty graphics. Looks like really like a lot of fun. It was cool when I noticed like when the guy was had his back on the bus stop and it was like a metal bus stop. When the bullets were hitting it, it was like denting the metal.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy dude, this game is so detailed. I mean, when you know the Watch Dogs thing, I'm not really expecting it to look exactly like that. Because I mean, I don't know why everyone says like, oh, well, Watch Dogs, it does look good. I mean, it looks good, but what they showed at 2012, it looks way different. I mean, it's not
downgraded.
Yeah, they totally downgraded it. I don't care what anyone says, but I mean, this is made by a different studio, and they're using the Snowdrop engine, which is supposed to be amazing. So, yeah, hopefully it does look like this, and if it does, it's gonna be awesome.
Right. I always thought that once they started making games exclusively for next gen,
Yeah,
that the graphics would step up.
and it looks that way.
Oh, good. Someone's vacuuming downstairs. I don't know if you can hear that on the recording, but hopefully not.
Yeah, but it does look like these exclusive games that are going to be on next gen look amazing. I mean,
Yeah, they
So-
look good.
hopefully it does look like that. I mean,
Right.
hopefully. And
So
then
we
they
had
announced
two
that the
more-
Division's new content will be coming to Xbox One first, which is stupid. I don't know why they do that, but
Yeah.
you know,
Whatever.
who cares?
Um,
I don't get DLC anyway, so
Yeah, I rarely do.
yeah. I think the last thing I bought was BioShock's Burial at Sea. That's the last DLC I've
Yeah,
gotten.
me too, I think.
Yeah.
So, two more things, two more trailers. The first one was a game called Scalebound, which looks strange.
Yeah, it's made by Platinum Games that made MGS Rising and stuff. So it's gonna be
And also
high action, and they made Vanquish too.
Bayonetta too, didn't they?
Yeah, Bayonetta, yeah, one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So-
they're making two too.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it was weird. It showed some person with like Beats headphones
Yeah, they had Beats
slaying
headphones.
like dragons.
Yeah, slaying dragons and
It was strange.
mythical creatures.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
there
I
wasn't
guess
much
it's gonna be
there
sort of
to-
like in the same vein as Monster Hunter, where you just go and fight humongous beasts and take them down.
Yeah.
which,
I mean,
You know.
there's not much to take from it because it's just a trailer. There's no gameplay, so I have no idea what it is. And they released a trailer for another game they're bringing back called Crackdown. Hello? Uh-oh. I think our call dropped. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh boy, here we go. Can't get through a show of Skype effing up. We call him. Thought I'm gonna have to restart Skype.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay. I have to restart Skype.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you don't hear me.
Oh man.
Here we go. I see Skype still sucks. Alright, hold on. Sorry about this, but, you know, can't do anything about Skype. Restarting it usually fixes the problem, so. Just give me a second here to get it restarted. Skype. Why are you so shitty? Alright, here we go. Alright. Let's see what we can do.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Can't get
All
through
right.
a show without Skype effing up.
I know, dude. Skype always does this. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Alright, so Crackdown
Yeah, Crackdown.
is coming back. They showed a trailer. I don't know anything about this game either.
Yeah, I played the first one. I think it was free. I mean, you just blow stuff up. Nothing I'm really that excited for. So
That was the one with the cops with the special powers or whatever.
yeah, it was like cops that can like jump. I mean, it's really cartoony and stuff.
Right.
So I mean, it's really wacky. So yeah, I guess this guy has its audience. So I don't know.
Yeah, so Microsoft has a thing about bringing old games back, I guess.
Yeah, because
They
they
did it
need
with
some
Killer
exclusives.
Instinct.
So
They're doing it with Phantom Dust. They're doing it with Crackdown.
yeah,
So,
I mean, it's good because they need some exclusives and yeah. So
Yeah. Let me go turn on my air real quick because it's really hot,
okay,
and then we'll move on to EA.
okay.
Okay. Oh, it's so freaking hot in here. Alright. So, that was Microsoft. And, certainly one of the better ones they've done in a long time because
Oh
they
yeah.
just did games.
I would probably give that like an A- on.
Yeah, it was
in
pretty
terms of,
good.
it was pretty good.
The only thing was that they didn't really necessarily announce a lot of big time new games.
Yeah, they really did.
I mean, Rise of the Tomb Raider is cool,
Yeah, that was
but when you
cool.
look down the
new
list,
exclusives.
yeah, it's mostly just stuff that we already knew about.
Yeah,
COD, Forza. You know, there is a new Forza, but I don't view that as a huge announcement.
yeah, it was leaked earlier.
Yeah.
It was leaked like a week ago. So
Evolve was a trailer. The Assassin's Creed Unity thing was cool.
yeah, that was cool. That was really
But Dragon Age, Sunset Overdrive, I mean, I guess we saw a little bit more of the game, but we already knew about it.
cool. Yeah,
The Dead Rising 3 DLC, meh.
yeah, man.
The Harmonic stuff. I guess Fable was cool that they announced a new Fable, but
Yeah, that was
they
cool.
didn't have too terribly much to show of it.
Hmm.
The Master Chief Collection's cool.
Yeah, that was that's like really like a good bang for your buck. Like
Yeah, that's
60.
that's a nice
That's
thing.
an easy $60 game. That's
Yeah,
really good.
that's a nice release.
Yeah.
But there wasn't necessarily anything this conference that blew me away.
Yeah. Same
But
here.
at the same time, I mean, we didn't hear the word Connect once, which
Yeah, except for the Dance Central, but
yeah, but
nothing like yeah.
they didn't even say Connect. You're
Yeah.
just supposed to know.
Yeah. If you want Dance Central, here you go.
But it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because it's like people are happy that we don't have to hear any more about Connect,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's like, well, then how do you justify only having a package that included it to start at launch
Yeah.
and charge us $100 for it, and then you don't do shit with it? So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
messed up.
kind of double-edged sword. It's like, well,
Yeah.
good, we don't want to hear anything about Connect, but at the same time, for all the people who bought it with Connect,
Yeah.
they just literally flushed $100.
I mean,
down the
honestly,
toilet.
people that bought it early, like, we're fans of, Microsoft and
Yeah.
Xbox, because people that were like kind of in the middle were like, well, I don't want Xbox, I want PS4. I mean,
A lot of people waited too.
yeah,
You know, they're
did.
not getting
I mean,
next gen until this year.
Yeah,
Just so because of these games that are finally coming out.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, Connect. I'm not surprised
yeah. I'm
that
not
it's
surprised
going in the
either.
graveyard. But for the people who bought it, I mean, you got to feel ripped off, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I feel bad about it leaving, but people that
No.
forked out the extra 100, I mean, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah. Unless
But,
you really, really like to be able to turn your Xbox on and off with your voice
yeah,
and change your channel, but that ain't worth $100 to me. So,
no.
but overall, Microsoft, finally did what they were supposed to do.
Yep.
No nonsense. No Don Matrick telling you to freaking stay with a 360.
Yeah. If you live in a submarine, get a 360.
If you,
Or
so,
whatever the fuck you said.
I think it was good. I mean,
Yeah, it's really good.
usually we're on here making fun of Microsoft and ripping them, but there's really nothing to make fun
Yeah.
of here. I think
I
it
gotta
was a really
say,
good decision.
Phil Spencer seems to be changing it around. I mean,
Yeah, he's got his focus in the right place.
Yep.
I think it was a really good idea to get rid of Don Matrick
Yeah,
because he was not good for that company.
Hell no.
And as soon as he's gone, they do an E3 where I think everybody's pretty happy.
Yeah,
So, applause to them.
yeah,
For
good
people
job.
who like to give us flack because we seem to, rip on Microsoft and praise Sony. It's like, well, they deserved it.
I mean,
but this year we're not,
Yeah,
we
me
call
and
it
you
like
are
it
like,
is.
we're in the middle. I mean, I'm not like us. We don't like have an allegiance towards Sony or Microsoft. We're just kind of like we just want to play games.
I call it as it is.
Yeah,
Last
I mean-
generation, I was on my channel ripping Sony all the time
Yeah,
and praising the 360.
yeah.
It's just
I mean,
Microsoft royally effed up the launch of the Xbox One.
yeah.
but-
I mean, it's in front of our face. Like so.
Yeah, we call it like we see it. I mean, we're not
Yeah.
gonna freaking love everything,
I know.
but this year, Microsoft did a good job. So
Yeah, they did a
credit
good
where
job.
it's due.
Yeah, good job.
So that was Microsoft, pretty good. Finally giving people a reason to start thinking about getting an Xbox.
Yeah,
Now that you can buy for 400, and there's actually some games coming out that are good, and
right.
they seem to be going that direction with Phil Spencer.
Yeah, which
So-
is really good.
So good stuff. And he's definitely easier to watch do a presentation than Don Matrick.
Oh yeah,
So I liked Phil Spencer.
yeah, me too.
So, okay, that was Microsoft. So now we head into EA, which wasn't very impressive.
I mean,
Um,
I was expecting more. I was just
Yeah,
saying.
they had a couple of announcements that were cool, that were good, like okay. But EA seemed really more interested in taking us on tours of all the development studios
I mean, which isn't
instead
really
of showing
a bad
games.
thing. I mean, because they, yeah, I mean, because they are. I mean, it's cool to give credit towards the studios and show us like who's actually working on it instead of bringing out like Drake to
Yeah,
promote
yeah.
promote FIFA. Like, what the hell?
Right.
But then again, they didn't really show any gameplay of anything.
Yeah, I think EA was like, we have a bunch of games, but none of them are that close.
Yeah. So.
So here's the best we can do.
Yeah.
So they started off with a game that a lot of people are interested in, Star Wars Battlefront.
I mean, I'm super excited for that game.
Yeah, they announced it last year. It was coming back this year. Again, they didn't have a whole lot to show.
Yeah.
They just showed the development team like going to the places where Star Wars were filmed or whatever, because I guess that's necessary because they wanted to get a quote better, feel of how to design the game.
Yeah.
If you need to take those trips, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
They went back and saw, original Star Wars props and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
To make the game, and they did show some early in-game footage. It looks amazing.
Oh my
graphics.
dude,
I mean,
stunning.
I thought it was from the movie.
Yeah,
for a second, and then it was the game.
I literally did. I was like, "Is that fucking real?" Like,
yeah,
yeah. Like they showed like kind of what it was gonna look like, and then it popped in like what the graphics are targeted to
be. It was
I was like
almost no difference. Shit. It was almost like a seamless transition.
Yeah, I mean, you say what you will about Battlefield 4, but the graphics were awesome in that game. It was buggy and it didn't work for people, but the graphics were amazing. So like if they're like improving upon that in this game with Star Wars, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
I think Star Wars is gonna be really good.
Oh yeah.
But again, it gave us no indication when it might be done, and based on the fact that we didn't see much of anything, I would bet it's at least another year and a half off.
Yeah, I'd say late 2016 for that game, because they said they were gonna show some more spring 2015. So I don't know if they're gonna.
I think at the earliest it's gonna be holiday of next year.
Yeah,
and it might be even
at the
later
earliest
because they don't have much of anything for it.
Right. I mean, dude, just imagine taking down those humongous ships with a flying one of those amazing Star Wars ships, taking down those huge fucking things in the snow. I mean, that game's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So, they showed more of Dragon Age Inquisition, and is it just me, or did they show the exact same trailer that they showed at Microsoft?
And then they had this woman playing.
Yeah, that was the only difference, was some woman pretending to play the cello.
Yeah.
And and it was the same trailer. I was like, we've seen this. And then they showed a demo, I guess, of it, fighting a dragon. And again, the graphics were just like, what am I watching?
Did they show that? Did they only show the trailer at Microsoft, or did they show gameplay?
They only showed the trailer at Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
Because I have it written here, specifically trailer. And then they showed the same trailer at EA and followed it up with the demo.
Yeah, okay.
I guess there's some new characters and stuff like that. Again, that's all lost on me because I've never played Dragon Age.
Me either,
So, okay.
I mean, it just seems like there's so many like long RPGs coming out. I mean, this kind of is like, at the ones I want to play, it's kind of like at the bottom.
Yeah,
but, I'm not knocking it or anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Then BioWare came out and they did confirm that there's a new Mass Effect,
which I am.
Everybody was happy about. They started playing the music from when you're in the Normandy, the Galaxy map.
That is amazing.
And I got those chills.
Yeah.
From that music.
And then I knew it was gonna be something about Mass Effect when the guy he opened the door and he saw what's his face, is it Thane? Not Thane. The green guy. I forget his name. I don't know. It's not Thane Creel. Is it? Thane Creel?
Huh? The assassin guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Thane.
Okay, yeah. So they showed, I saw Thane, and then they started playing. I was like, holy shit, yeah. There we go.
So, I mean, pretty much everybody knew this has been rumored and all, but they did confirm it. Again, they didn't tell us much of anything, so I don't think it's close. But they are working on it. They said there's going to be some old races, some new races.
Krogan confirmed.
Yeah, Krogan are going to be in it. They're definitely moving away from Shepard's story. So this is a new deal. So excited, but we'll have to wait a while, I think, to see more, and then eventually get the game. I would say next E3 we'll probably get a much better look.
Oh yeah, yep.
And they also said BioWare is working on an unannounced IP.
And then they showed trees.
Yeah.
I was
so they're making a new game. and BioWare makes great games.
Yep.
So, whatever they're working on is probably going to be pretty good.
Yep, because they always have an amazing universe with the
Yeah.
like the lore behind everything is amazing. So
I mean, they make Dragon Age, made Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic.
yeah, I mean just Mass Effect. If you say Mass Effect, and you're like, oh, okay, it's got to be good.
And then obviously Mass Effect. So, this is where the boring BS part of the conference took place. They decided that they were going to take up a ton of time talking about a new Sims 4, which is pretty funny considering how bad the last Sims was received.
Yeah.
Because it was an online-only Sims, and the servers didn't work, and it sucked.
I mean...
And, I don't know.
Sims...
They had, like, Barack Obama grilling burgers. And...
Yeah, the first character they make is Obama. They make the ears humongous.
Yeah,
and
they're making, like, huge ears.
Yeah, and puts them in a backyard barbecue. And
Right. It's like, oh, Obama's making my cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I mean... And then
medium rare, Mr. President.
Yeah, medium rare.
It's like,
don't burn them, or I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of you. But
yeah, don't burn yourself, because then you'll have to use Obamacare.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, you know, basically the whole thing was like, the Sims are now weirder. It's like, weren't the Sims weird enough?
I mean, it wouldn't have been bad, but they spent a lot of time on it.
I know.
You know,
and then they had some like dude go to this old woman's house, and this old woman starts beating the crap out of him.
Yeah, you're like,
what am I watching?
He reads him some poetry, and then she didn't like it, so she beat the shit out of him. Like,
yeah, she beat the crap out of him, almost kills him.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, okay.
And then he goes to a party, and he starts laughing, and he laughs so hard, he dies.
He fucking croaks from laughing.
And the Grim Reaper shows up.
After he's working out, he's like pumping iron, he looks all healthy, he looks in good shape, and he dies because he laughs.
Yeah, and he laughs so hard he dies. And they just say this in passing. Like, oh yeah, he just died of laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
and
like you go from Mass Effect, and then they're working on a new IP, you're like all pumped, and then here we go with the Sims. Here we have Chuck here, and he's working out, and
yeah, here's Chuck.
I'm like, what? Okay.
$2 Chuck over here.
Yeah, I mean, and they spend a ton of time on it, so I'm like, holy shit. Okay.
Right. And then they start with the sports, of course.
Hi, Jesus.
They show a trailer for UFC that has Bruce Lee in it now.
That trailer is actually really cool. Like, I saw it when they first released it, the full trailer. It's actually really cool, but they cut it in half.
The trailer's cool, but I think it's kind of a embarrassment to Bruce Lee.
Yeah, put him in fucking UFC.
Yeah. And they show a trailer of him fighting a UFC dude, and it looks like they're like having sex on the floor.
That's how every UFC fight looks.
Yeah. And they show like Bruce Lee getting owned by the dude for like a good section of the fight, and I'm like,
dude, Bruce Lee would beat the shit out of every UFC
Bruce
fighter.
Lee's a punching bag for this guy.
Yeah.
He's like on top of him thrusting. It was really weird.
As you can see, you can pull the sticks and move them in different directions. It's like fucking. I'm like,
right.
Okay.
I don't know. So Bruce Lee's in the game that apparently comes out like next week or in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it comes out June 17th.
Right.
And Sims 4, if anyone's remotely interested, is September 2nd. So
yeah.
Whatever.
And this time we didn't have to see Dana White come out on stage or anything.
I know.
So you know. Then they showed NHL 15.
Yeah, that game, the graphics on that game look really good.
Graphics look great, but it's NHL.
So
nothing new to report.
Not really interested.
Except that they're making one. And I thought it was funny because it was EA like Canada who was making it.
Oh really?
And like EA Canada would make NHL.
Yeah.
But so there's that. Then randomly here comes Criterion.
Yeah, what the hell?
Made like Burnout. And again, we get to see their development studio.
Yeah, oh dude. Yeah,
and then they show this was Jesus at the bar.
They showed Jesus at the bar. I'm like,
yeah,
he's like,
guy looks like Jesus.
We don't have desks, so we work pretty much anywhere, and sometimes we work at the pub. I'm like, oh, okay, so you're a little buzzed making a game. I'm sure there's gonna be no bugs in it.
Yeah, Brandon texted me. He goes, "Man, I'm sure there's not gonna be any bugs in this game."
Yeah,
it's
we
like
work at the pub. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right, this dude looks like Jesus sitting there having a you
Like a
know,
brew.
a drink. Yeah, having a Voodoo's Brew.
Yeah, Voodoo's Brew there.
But
Working, working on
yeah,
fucking.
so basically, they just showed themselves like they said that they don't want to work on just cars; they want to work on all vehicles. So they're working on a new game. It's gonna have all kinds of vehicles: ATVs, snowmobiles, helicopters.
Looks pretty action packed.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all they said.
Yeah, and they
No
showed
name for it.
some
No.
shitty render for it.
Yeah, no time frame, nothing.
Just it's there.
So it was like,
It exists.
okay, thanks Criterion. Now we know where you work.
You work at the
But-
bar, okay.
Yeah, but doesn't really do anything. This next thing was probably the weirdest thing of E3. I'm gonna put
Yeah,
it up
probably
as a
was.
nomination. So they show PGA Tour, right? The new one, the new golf game.
You think it's gonna be super calm?
Right. So they announced that it's running on Frostbite 3. To which I'm like, why do you need Frostbite 3 to run a golf game?
Yeah, I even text Josh and he's like Frostbite 3. I'm like, yeah, I guess they need to render those explosions.
Yeah, those golf explosions.
And then the next thing we see, oh my god, it's this big fucking battleship crash. It's the map from Battlefield 4, and he's golfing and he hit like I'm like
There's a battleship that comes and crashes into the golf course, and he hits the ball over the battleship and it lands on the green.
I'm like,
what is this?
They're like, here's some fantasy maps. I'm like, why the fuck? I
And
mean, you expect
I read
like
something on Reddit, and the guy was like, this conversation definitely ended with "fuck it, why not?"
Yeah.
Because not Battlefield, Frostbite 3 for
I know.
PGA Tour, really?
I mean, if you want nice I mean, yeah, but it's kind of like overkill.
It's golf.
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect like some serene.
You can only do so much to golf.
Yeah, some serene golf course, and then all of a sudden this big fucking battleships crash. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I don't
ask
know.
me.
Whatever.
So then, of course, here comes Madden 15. Just as I suspected, they never fix anything in the game that I actually have a problem with.
Yeah.
How, when the refs call a penalty, they call it the name it was called in the 1990s.
Oh my god.
Not the name that they've called it since 2000.
Yeah.
How the crowd cheers when the opposing team scores. Stuff like that. No, they don't fix that. This year, they decided what to work on was that they would improve defense. Because apparently people said defense
is more
was boring. Even though I've never complained about playing defense.
Yeah.
But here we go. So now apparently you can have a new perspective where you see it from the defensive side of the ball. And you have new defensive controls where you can rush in and take the quarterback down. They showed Drew Brees getting all fucked up.
Yeah.
And, so new defensive controls that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
And apparently they hired cinematographers from NFL Films.
Yeah,
to get
Emmy nominated
camera angles. Yeah,
Emmy
even though it's a video game.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
And so I'm like, great. I can play as the defense, and then when the other team has the ball and I'm on defense, my crowd will be dead silent. But when my team, the home team, has the ball, the crowd will be making all kinds of noise.
Yeah.
And then when the home team scores, the crowd will boo, but they'll get up and cheer if the away team scores.
But at least you'll have some amazing camera angles.
Yeah, but at least I'll have good camera angles and defensive controls. And when we play the Super Bowl, if I have a captain's patch on my jersey, guess what? I don't get the Super Bowl patch because they have the Super Bowl patch rendered only on one spot, and that's where the captain's patch goes.
Jesus.
So if you have a captain's patch on your jersey, guess what? You don't get a Super Bowl patch. So it's terrible. They're not going to fix anything that I care about, but I've accepted it.
Yeah.
So from there, they moved on to a new game called a MOBA.
Yeah.
Which I guess is like a League of Legends game.
Yeah, multiplayer online based... What the
fucking
fuck?
bullshit.
Yeah, some weird acronym. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's called Dawngate. I could care less.
Me
but
too.
I guess if you're a MOBA fan, then You like it? I don't even get it. I don't even know what those kind of games are.
I don't either.
So, whatevs.
Whatevs.
So that's coming out. Then they talked a little bit more about Mirror's Edge 2.
Which is like the thing I was most excited to hear about.
Right. Again, didn't show much.
Conceptual gameplay.
Right, conceptual gameplay, of course. They talked about how they hired real parkour athletes to show them moves.
Yeah.
And they said, like, you know, for people who suck at the game, we have a sucky way that you can get from area to area. And people who are good at the game have a better way. And here's Mirror's Edge 2.
This is this is the point where I texted you. I was like, "This sucks." Sucks.
There's nothing. They didn't show. They showed more of the development studios than they did of the games.
They showed more of the games I didn't care about.
Yeah.
And less of the games I did.
Right.
I mean, which, you know, that's subjective and, like, you know, whatever. But I mean, it sucked for me because I mean, I was more interested in hearing about
how many
Battlefront.
Sports games fans are watching EA, like, or watching E3.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, they're
like they're
more
probably
interested
not
in sports.
So,
I mean, it sucks. EA just doesn't understand what people want to see. I don't know.
But they do have a new head, a CEO, who wore some eccentric clothing, but he had like the shiny lapels and patent leather suits or shoes. I mean, and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this guy will be better. I mean, I know since he took over, they took out all the online codes and everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So maybe he'll be good. Seems like everybody's getting new CEOs.
Yeah, they're like, we need
maybe
something
they'll be getting better.
Different. Yeah.
Really, the only conference that had the same guy presenting, or the same, not the same person presenting, but the same, like, head, is Ubisoft.
Yeah.
All the other ones had a different guy in charge.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then they showed FIFA 15, and their big thing was feel the game.
Yeah.
They said that like 100 times.
I mean, it's just like, can you improve the like, it just looks the same. Like, nothing, like, the graphics should be amazing. Like, I don't know.
They just said, like the crowds are going to be better.
Yeah, and, like, if you hit the post, like, the whole gold frame shakes and shit.
Yeah, the gold frame shakes. Ooh.
Yeah, ooh.
Why didn't it shake, like, 10 years ago?
I know, it doesn't seem like it's too intensive on...
That next-gen goal shaking technology.
Yeah, and the flags move. Oh.
Yeah, the flags move. Good job.
Yeah, same shit.
And, like, the field will tear up when you slide, and they showed it, and it just looked like an amorphous brown blob.
Yeah, I know, I was like, what the... Oh my god, that looks
like shit. It didn't even look good. It looked like a couple of brown pixels.
Yeah, like, that looks like complete shit.
Like, oh, good.
Oh, great.
So, they showed that. Good, FIFA. Moving on.
Same
and finally, they showed some Battlefield Hardline. Which was the demo, right?
Yeah,
the 32-player demo.
Heist gameplay beta.
Right. And so we finally got to see what Battlefield Hardline really was like. And first of all, I didn't even know DICE wasn't making it.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but Visceral is making it. Who
made
Dead Space.
Which is really weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It kind of seems now like Battlefield might be going on a yearly cycle, like Call of Duty. So, meh.
Yeah, meh.
But it's Battlefield gameplay, but instead of... See, this is what I think that Call of Duty should do. Because instead of, like, the war aspect, it's now basically cops versus robbers.
Yeah, they need to change something with Call of Duty.
In LA, which is cool because it's the same concept, but applied in a new way. It's no longer about war and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it looks to me like the modes and all are going to be similar. You know, what they were showing was a mode where criminals have to break in, get, like, money, like rob a bank or something, and then escape. Mm-hmm. And the cops have to stop them. And it looked really cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Graphically, it looks like sort of a downgrade from Battlefield 4, but I mean, I don't know. Battlefield 4's, like, cities didn't look that great, but, like, when it was in the vegetation, it looked really good. So I don't know, maybe it's the same, but yeah, it looks cool. Just, I mean, it was cool when the guy took out the bat and just beat the shit out of that guy.
Oh yeah, he
Like,
took out a bat. He took out
yeah,
a
just
freaking
beat,
a Louisville Slugger and beat
yeah,
the crap out
Louisville
of
Slugger right into his fucking cranium.
him.
And then I
But
think I heard the guy when he tased that guy right before he hit him with the bat. He's like, "Don't tase me, bro." I'm like, "What the hell?"
don't tase me, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks cool, but
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not super excited for it.
it's Battlefield.
Yeah.
But at least it's something new.
Yeah. Something
And
fresh, like a
certainly,
good.
if I had to pick one over the other, I'd pick to play Hardline over Advanced Warfare.
Oh yeah.
So,
Definitely.
I could try it out. I'm certainly
Yeah.
not thinking about buying it or anything,
Oh no.
but it could be cool, to check out.
Yeah, and people are complaining because I guess Battlefield 4 is still having problems, and they already
Oh yeah.
and now they already have Battlefield Hardline coming out. So
Well, that's the difference. Maybe it's a good thing DICE isn't making this game.
Yeah, maybe.
Visceral might make it better.
I mean, but shit, like
So-
how many things would Dice would be working on? Is working on Battlefront, and Mirror's Edge, and then if they
Yeah.
had to make Battlefield Hardline, I mean, shit, that like how many games can they make? So I don't know.
They should work on PGA.
Yeah,
The golf
I think
game.
they had a
Golf
hand in
Factory.
PGA and
Right.
throw them a Madden FIFA too. Why not?
Yeah. Run
And
those
let the
on
crowd
Frostbite.
like bomb each other and shoot the
Right.
players on the field.
Michael
and,
Bay.
Yeah, Michael
the
Bay
engine.
explosions. It's destroy
Michael Bay engine.
stadiums.
So that was EA. It was okay.
Oh yeah, what was really cool with Battlefield also is they announced the beta's out that day, and you could
Yeah, the
download
beta
it
was
from your
out that
PS4.
day. From what I've heard is that as soon as they announced that, everything crashed. Of course,
God.
PSN crashed, the website crashed, and apparently, from what I've heard, the people have gotten their hands on it. It is a beta, but it runs like complete crap.
Oh really?
Like,
Oh man.
yeah, the frame rates are terrible, the graphics are terrible.
Jesus.
So maybe they shouldn't have released it. Maybe they should have waited. Because I remember the Battlefield 3 beta back in the day when I played it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't that
It
bad.
ran well.
It ran pretty well.
But apparently the word is this beta is more like an alpha.
Oh god.
So, and of course when they make these live announcements, it's going to crash the servers.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know why they do that because it's always going to make them crash.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was EA.
Pretty weak.
Nothing great except that they confirmed Mass Effect.
Yeah, that was a big thing. The Battlefront looks awesome.
Yeah.
Mirror's
Other
Edge, I
than
mean,
that-
it looks really good, but I mean, I wish they would have shown actual gameplay. I mean,
They
I'd
didn't
give
show too
their
much.
conference like C.
Yeah, it was like a C. It was
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay.
So that was EA. I'm actually going to pause for a minute to take a bathroom break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we'll do the last two.
Okay.
And, yeah. So it'll be just a jump cut on YouTube. So here we go. Okay. So we're back. Feeling much
All right.
better.
Yeah.
And it's time to tackle the second half of E3. And we're going to jump right into Ubisoft.
Yep.
And wouldn't you know it? Well, I guess we should start what they started with before Aisha Tyler came out. Before she even came out, they had a trailer, which turned out being Far Cry 4, which they announced a couple weeks ago. And it looks like there's going to be another enigmatic bad guy
Yep.
who's in it. And it was a really crazy commercial. These guys are just in a bus, and they have their passports, or in a van or something like that. And the main character looks through the window, and they see one of the guys that they're with showing like the military the bus. I guess it's in the Himalayas.
Yeah. It's like
Showing
them
him the
their passports.
passport.
Yeah.
And the guy like is pissed and knocks it out of his hands, and then they just start shooting.
Yeah, they're fucking
And
malicious.
they're like killing people and everything. And then this guy comes in a helicopter and gets out, and he's like the main villain.
Very eccentric
and-
fellow.
Yeah, and he's like talking to the main character, and he's telling him that they had like a party planned for you or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's mad because he didn't want his militia killing anybody, but they
Yeah.
did. So he gets all pissed, and he like stabs one of the guys to death.
Like it was like probably the most brutal stabbing I've seen
Yeah,
in a long fucking time.
it was pretty bad. But the guy reminds me of Voss.
Yeah, he's like, I
Um,
got blood on my shoes. Oh,
yeah. Hopefully he's as good of a villain.
yeah, he looks to
Um,
be.
yeah, he looks good.
Yeah,
And he just takes the main character away and says that, they're gonna throw a party for him or something.
and then subsequently takes a selfie.
Right, yeah, it takes a selfie with the guy. So you get to see the main character's face.
Yeah, people are trying to like
Um,
connect it back to Far Cry 3, which is if it was like if it's the same character for Far Cry 3, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't think
But
it is. The guy looks
yeah, I don't
nothing
think it
like
is.
him, and the none of the Far Cry games have been sequels. They've
Yeah,
all
that's
been
true.
unique,
Yeah.
so I doubt it. But they showed that trailer, and then Aisha Tyler comes out, so she's hosting it for the third straight time. So
And Josh
immediately
kinda
I'm like,
groaned.
oh no,
Yeah,
here
we're
we
just
go.
like, oh.
Because she has been so bad in my opinion the last two times, just so
Yeah.
awkward, making jokes that aren't funny.
Yeah, she makes too many jokes, and it's like,
Yeah, she
I mean,
just tries way too hard,
she really does.
and I feel like if she doesn't have jokes written for her, she's not good.
Yeah,
But she comes out and it's funny, and she's like, "Oh, this is the third time I've been hosting it, and people ask me why do you do it, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Cause the internet's bullshit."
yeah,
And I'm like, "Yeah, it's the internet that's wrong, not you. You know, you can't possibly be bad. It's just the whole internet that doesn't like you."
right.
So I'm like, okay, take shots at us. That's a good way to start the conference. Like, whatever. But luckily,
So
she
yeah,
wasn't that
she, like, pulled the
cringeworthy
DSP
this
there.
time. She,
It's the internet's fault.
yeah, it's the internet's fault. Whatever. You're not just bad at hosting conferences.
Yeah, she's like
But,
DSP.
Yeah. But, she wasn't intolerable this time.
Yeah,
She kinda
she
toned
wasn't.
it back.
Yeah, last two times she's been insufferable. Like she's
Yeah,
literally
there was
made
no
me not
like
want to watch it.
Girlwood or any of this stupid
Yeah.
stuff. Of course, she did make a dumb joke to start. She's like, "Oh, there's a lot of smoke in here. It's like 420 up in this bitch."
Yeah, I'm like, what?
It's like, shut up.
Like,
Just
dude,
get on
you're
with the conference. You're not funny.
You're not funny.
So anyway, I thought it was going downhill at that point, but luckily that was like one of the only stupid jokes she said.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to do a horrendous French accent later that was really bad. So, anyway, of course, after Far Cry 4, everybody's hyped up. They have to show Just Dance.
Oh yeah, my God.
Just Dance 2015. And now,
Thousands of
You
people
can-
can play.
yeah, you can download an app called Just Dance Now.
Yeah.
And you can play on your smartphone, and that's the controller.
Yeah.
So, of course, they had 100,000 people come out on stage in the balcony, and they're dancing to this Lady Gaga song. and
further
it's just-
further confirming that the game actually doesn't track you. It's
Yeah,
complete
it's
bullshit.
a total waste of time. Like, I'm not paying any attention. This goes on for like 10 minutes, and
I think I took a
nobody
shit
cares. And a lot of people were making a good point that I saw. They were like, wait a second. You're going to take your hundreds of dollars smartphone and put it in your hand and start waving it all around. So, like, you can throw your smartphone across the room by accident and freaking break it.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to do that? And first of all, yeah, I'm sure your smartphone through an app is really good at tracking your dance moves.
Yeah, I'm sure
like-
it's super accurate.
It's just a complete waste of time.
So thousands of people can play. I'm sure it's
Right.
really accurate at tracking your movement, and it's completely.
And what I don't
It's not
understand is
bullshit.
like, I guess you use your phone as the controller while you have the game running on your system.
Yeah.
It's like,
What?
why not just use your fucking Kinect? Why would you use your phone?
I don't know. Why
Like,
would you
why
buy the
would you
game in the
risk-
first place?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Why would you risk
I-
throwing your phone like out the window and freaking breaking the
dude,
screen?
This game sells like crazy though. I don't understand.
I don't know why. I mean,
I
that's
don't
great,
get it.
but it's like, why do you have to waste time in a press conference? Like, the
God.
people who like Just Dance are gonna buy it. They don't.
Yeah.
We don't need it showcased.
they need to know that people watching E3 are hardcore like gamers. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
The other
they're
people,
not
you could just
casual.
put out a press release being like, "Hey, we're announced that we're making Just Dance 2015." Oh, okay, and
Yeah,
then their fans will buy it, and that's
right.
it. We don't need 10
Yeah,
minutes of
bullshit.
dancers all over. Like, what does that add? Nothing.
I know when they started, I'm like, oh my god, here we go with this bullshit again.
I
Thousands of
know.
people dancing and like to this shit song. It's
It happens every year, and no one
every year.
cares.
Like, come on, we understand what Just Dance is.
I know, but
Nobody cares.
anyway, so they did that. We moved on, and we got a trailer for The Division, which I guess explained a little bit more about the story.
It's kind of
It was a
cool.
pretty dark trailer.
Yeah,
Um, Pretty much it's New York City, and society has collapsed. And there's these specially trained people in a force called the Division,
yep.
and that's who you play as in the game. And other than that, it was just a pretty trailer,
I know.
I guess.
Yeah, it was a cool trailer.
Yeah.
And I thought it was neat how they showed like it was like an invisible dude, like kind of
Yeah.
throughout the apartment, like just kind of showing you what really like occurred there. And the guy
Right.
blew
Like
his
in the
brains out at
past,
the end.
they kind of showed, you know, what kind of, like how society degraded and stuff.
Yeah, how it affected this certain family in this apartment,
Yeah.
like how they and then they showed how the car got there and how it just sort of
Mm-hmm.
became dilapidated and it's cool stuff like that. It was a cool trailer.
Yeah. But not anything too terribly new.
Yeah, nothing really.
So after that, they showed more about the Crew, which is the driving game that they're doing. We had another trailer,
Mm-hmm. It
and
was actually kind of a cool trailer.
yeah, they mentioned how you can drive across the entire U.S. coast
Mhm.
to coast.
I think it
And
takes
I'm
like
sitting
2
there-
hours.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, how are you gonna pull that off? And apparently they have like 2-hour driving missions.
Yeah.
So is it gonna be like, oh, 5 minutes, I'm through Florida.
Yeah.
2 minutes, there goes Alabama.
Here
It's
comes
like
Alabama.
either the states are gonna be really tiny or you're gonna be going really fast.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that's gonna
But I
work.
heard in that game also, like, if your friends are playing, you can just say, well, like, if you're online, I want to like drive with you or whatever. You can say like, oh, I'm in New York, and I'll say like, well, I'm in like San Francisco, and you can like pull up the map and then select New York, and you're like there instantly. So it's like it's really cool, like how quick it is and like
Yeah,
seamless it is.
so I guess
But,
you can
like-
fast travel around and
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
drive.
Yeah.
Bunches of different cars.
Lots of driving games.
Yeah. So
And
if you're a
yeah.
driving game fan, cool.
Yeah. Cool.
If you're not,
Cool.
nothing really new here. That has a release of November the 11th.
Yep.
So that's when the Crew comes out. We have a release date. Then we got another trailer for Assassin's Creed Unity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember this trailer too well.
Me either.
Yeah, I just have it written down here that there was a trailer. And, yeah,
I'm like drawing a blank. I have no idea what.
yeah,
the show.
I don't know. They showed it so many times that
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I just know
I
the
have
game's
a-
really pretty and
Yeah, it looks good. I have written down here October 28th as
Yep.
a release. I don't know if we mentioned that in the Microsoft conference.
I don't think they
But,
announced it there. I think
yeah.
this is the first
Okay.
time they showed the release date. So
All right, so
Yeah.
October 28th is
Mhm.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Then we had more time wasting,
yep.
where they came out and announced another fitness game.
At least this one was kind of funny. Like it was, like it was it was funny the way
It's
she's.
just-
I mean, this guy like she's like this guy. This is the only time she made me like laugh. Aisha Tyler, because when the guy came out, he walks out and he's like a small guy, and she like hugs him.
Yeah.
She's like, man, this guy's buff, and the guy looks at her. He's like, oh my god. He looks down. The guy has
Yeah,
like
he's
a
all
straight
awkward.
he has a straight unibrow too. So it's,
Right. So anyway, he gets
Oh
up there and he starts doing this piano game, where you have to
Yeah.
step in rhythm to the piano keys. It's DDR,
Yeah.
just not as complicated. And then he starts having a push-up contest. I guess there's two dudes. One's from America, one's from France, who work at Ubisoft. And they start having this push-up contest, and like the American dude is doing like half push-ups. They're not even real push-ups.
Half-assed.
And somehow he wins.
Yeah.
Even the other guy, the French dude is doing like actual push-ups. So it's like the game's kind of BS because you can just do half push-ups and get away with it.
And win.
So this was another like 10 or 15 minutes wasted. I mean, I don't understand why people can't just go run on a treadmill or fucking run outside or do push-ups without having to have a virtual hippo on your back.
Yeah, it's like surprising to me how these are still like a viable option for a game anymore.
I don't think it's viable. I think they just make this shit.
Like I don't understand why they still think it's a good idea to make them. I mean, maybe they are selling and we just don't know.
It's like try to stop trying to disguise exercise. Like exercise is exercise, you know.
If you want to be in shape, you gotta go run and lift weights, and I mean, if you don't, then you don't. So
right,
I'm not gonna buy a game to.
If you want to work out,
mitigate that.
You're going to, and if you don't want to, it could be a game. You're still not gonna do it.
Yeah, it's like
because it's
I
like
still don't want to work out
push-ups,
even if it's a game.
So
and it's gonna be an Xbox One exclusive. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, I'll miss out on that one. Oh well. So then
upset.
They showed one of the most depressing things I've seen in my entire life. Even though I am really interested in the game.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It's a game called Valiant Hearts: The Great War.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Ubi Art, which is what ran Rayman and also Child of Light.
Yep. Beautiful.
So the graphical style's awesome.
Yeah.
But it is a game about World War One.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about, there's a guy reading a letter, a soldier, reading a letter that he sent home or whatever.
No, actually, I thought that too, but then I heard it was actually the dog's thoughts over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was the dog's thoughts over his experiences with all four of the main characters, which is
cool.
Like it adds even more depth to it. It's like, wow, it's really cool.
So anyway, it's like a letter talking about how the soldiers are doing great things and fighting for freedom and and it shows the dog anytime you show dogs,
just such an
it's
innocent
gonna be depressing
animal.
So they show the dog having good times with all these guys and being like a medic dog in the war and stuff like that. And then at the end of the trailer it zooms out and you see just like this endless field of graves. And the dog walks up and lays on one and starts crying. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man, come on.
They really set the tone for that game.
It's like I'm watching E3, man. I don't feel like crying. Come on, dude. You can't show a crying, adorable dog on someone's grave. You just come on.
Yeah. That's just the epitome of depression.
I know. It's like, come on.
I mean, I think it's just it looks like such a cool game because it's such an unexplored time period in games and because things that led up to Treaty of Versailles and then subsequently to World War II and how the Nazis formed.
Not a lot of people know about World War One. People know a lot of stuff about World War II, but they can't tell you anything about World War One.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's going to be a really cool game.
Yeah, and they're pairing up with some kind of documentary. That's
to use World War One photos, actual.
Yeah,
photos.
There's going to be actual photos from the documentary in the game.
Yep.
So I definitely want to play the game. I'm just worried I'm going to cry like a little bitch during the entire game, and the whole playthrough is going to be me just sobbing.
Yeah. But, it looks really good though.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to definitely play that game as much as I like Child of Light and what Ubi Art does.
Child of Light's really cool. I really like
it. So that was that, and then the final thing they showed was probably the coolest thing they showed.
Yeah, it really was.
It was a trailer. Well, not even a trailer. It was a demo. It was like a multiplayer demo, and what it was was there was these four people, or four or five, I don't remember,
I
and
yeah, I think it's 4 or 5.
it was in a house, just like a normal 2-story house, and they had like a drone or a spy camera that went like under the door, and
Yeah.
you could hear the players talking like, "Oh, the hostage is in here. There's 3 of them. Blah blah blah. How do you want to do this?" So they analyze some of the options, and they decide, "Oh, we're going to land on the roof." So they
Yeah.
go and drop in on the roof, and then they scale the sides of the house, and they plant like a charge,
Mhm.
and they blow up the walls, and they come through and start shooting, and they kill like one of the enemy team.
Yeah, it's so
And
fucking cool.
yeah, they like pick up the hostage and run.
Mhm.
So then they're like, okay, well, how are we gonna do this? You know, like, where did they go? How are we gonna get to them? And they wind up like going. I don't exactly remember how it went, but
Yeah, they go out in
wind
the
up
hall.
happening.
Yeah,
they're
they go in the
they're
hall
like,
and then they go into like the master bedroom, and then
Yeah,
the guy's
they-
in the
they-
bathroom or something.
yeah, they're fighting at random points in the house, killing off like one at a time, and
Yeah.
sometimes the good guys lose a guy, sometimes the bad guys get killed,
Yeah,
and eventually they wind up the good guys get the hostage, but then they lose her back to the bad guys. Who
yeah. The
go,
guy that
like,
had him
into
got
the
shot
basement.
in the face, shot in the face or something.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm
Um,
sorry, I lost him.
yeah. The hostage gets like injured during it,
Yeah,
and like shot in the arm or something. So the bad guys have her, and they go down to the basement, and the good guys wind up basically blowing a hole in the wall upstairs, and then they go right over where the basement is, and they blow up the floor under
Yeah.
them, so that they jump down into the basement, and it eventually goes to like a one-on-one scenario where the good guys have one guy and the bad guys have one guy, and oh my god.
yeah.
I don't exactly remember how it ended, but I guess the good guy kills the bad guy. and-
No, it ended like they both. Oh my god, hold on, let me go tell her. Fucking stop. I'll be right back.
Okay. We always have exciting things on our brews. All right. What's up, guys?
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, at the end, it was actually like the last 2 people, and the guy had the hostage, and like it ended with them both like shooting at each other, so we don't know who won.
Oh, okay, yeah. It kind of
Yeah.
ends ambiguously.
Right.
But they wound up revealing the game as a new Rainbow Six, which we haven't had a Rainbow Six in a long time. I think the last one was Rainbow Six Vegas, right? Las Vegas.
Yeah, and then 3 years ago they actually announced Rainbow Six Patriots, but
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. But I guess
but then
that went away.
And I guess that died or something.
Yeah. So this
Um,
is called Rainbow Six Siege.
Yep.
And, I mean, to me, I've never seen multiplayer like that.
Dude, I can't. It's hard to believe it's going to be that seamless and that
Yeah.
like cinematic. You know,
Like maybe,
I mean,
like gameplay wise, I could compare it to maybe like a Counter-Strike.
yeah.
It was just very, very realistic.
Yeah, it looked like just the walls blowing out was so
Yeah,
cool.
like as they hit the walls, it was like blowing out holes in the wall, like seamlessly.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
And I was very,
Movements.
very tense.
Yeah, the movements of the characters look so realistic.
Yeah, the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting,
And,
the smoke.
Just to be playing in that like tiny environment of just a 2-story house, you know?
Yeah, it just
and,
looks awesome.
And how tactical it was, and like how slowly but surely, you know, one guy would get killed off or another
Yeah.
one, and it was just very tense, and
Yeah, it looked really cool.
it was cool, man. So
And then that one guy, I remember that one guy, he got out of the window in the bathroom, and he actually made his way down, and I guess there was another person across the street on the good guys team, and she was like
Mhm.
kind of like yelling out like locations and stuff.
yeah,
I guess the guy went over there and killed her before the guy
Huh.
blew up the floor under him to go kill the guys in the gym or whatever.
yeah, it was really
That
cool.
was really cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But that's all we got to see. So we have no idea if that's just an example of the multiplayer, what kind of story this game's gonna have, a campaign or anything like
Dude,
that.
seriously, if they released just the multiplayer like that, I would buy it. I'd buy it for
Yeah,
$60. I don't care.
it
That
looks
looks so
awesome.
fucking awesome. It's really
Maybe
cool.
a good non-generic first-person shooter multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
that's where like I want multiplayer to go. Is that like
yeah,
super tactical and super,
pretty.
super like realistic? Like that's
It
really
could be like
awesome.
a prettier Counter-Strike for consoles.
Yeah,
So, I was excited. I thought that looked cool. So I look forward to hearing more about that in the future.
yeah. So hopefully they don't
And
like do what they did with Watch Dogs and like downgrade the gameplay, make it super generic. Like, you know, I mean, because like with Ubisoft, like I don't know. I guess they have a track record of making things look better than they like end up being. So I hope that's not the case with this. I hope this is like
probably
what it's going to
so.
be. Because if it is, it's going to be like the next big thing. I think.
Yeah, it looks cool. And I
Yeah.
know Rainbow Six had a very devout following of people
Yeah.
who really liked it. So
Yeah.
that announcement, I'm sure, made a lot of people happy.
Yeah, that game looks awesome.
And that was the end of Ubisoft.
Man, I mean,
Really not too much to see here.
yeah, the big highlight of it was Rainbow Six.
Yeah, that was the big highlight, and as much as it was depressing, I enjoyed seeing Valiant Hearts.
Yeah, Valiant Hearts looked really good too.
Piqued my interest. Everything else was basically a trailer.
Yeah.
And the stupid dancing and nonsensical fitness thing.
Yeah. It was better than EA's. I mean, I think.
Yeah, they were. I don't know.
I'd give it like a.
Neither one of
I'd
them
give
really
it
blew me
C+.
away.
I'd give it a C plus.
Yeah, they were okay, but it is what it is. So
Yeah.
that was Ubisoft, and then we had Sony, which honestly I think again was the best conference.
Yeah, I do too. I really do.
We got a lot of content. It was a 2-hour conference. We got a lot of new games.
Yeah.
And I mean blockbuster new games that were announced.
Uh-huh.
And they did really well, except for a slow point in the middle of the conference.
Yeah,
which
that
we'll
little
get to.
snafu.
But they certainly started off good.
Oh yeah.
So they opened with Destiny.
Yeah, I actually thought this was gonna be like a new game at first, like with the astronauts on them like on the moon or something. I was like, what the
They were
fuck is
on
this?
Mars. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it turned out to be Destiny. And again, I was talking to Brandon. This is one of those games where the graphics looked really disappointing to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was just because it's at the conference and whatever, but they looked a little disappointing. But outside of that, they announced that Destiny is going to be releasing first on PlayStation. So I guess it'll come out for PlayStation before Xbox.
No, I think they said you can play it first on PlayStation because there's gonna be a beta, July 17th.
Because of the beta? Okay. That must be what they meant then.
Yeah,
Play
July
it first
17th,
on PlayStation.
and, yeah.
Because there's a beta on July 17th.
Right.
There's actually an alpha that
This
you can
Thursday.
play pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, this Thursday I think you have to go on the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah, I'm probably going to sign up for it just to
Yeah.
see. There's co-op in the game for sure.
Yeah, that's
That
gonna be a really fun
You and
co-op
I can
game.
play. This might be a game I actually buy
Yeah, same here.
because it looks fun. And there's
Lots of
co-op,
content, it looks like.
So yeah, that could be cool. And then they announced that there is a brand new white. I think they say it's Glacier White
Yeah,
PlayStation
Glacier White.
4 bundled with it.
Yeah,
It looks sick.
it really does look really
like-
sick.
The white PlayStation 4 looks awesome.
It really does.
And you get the white system, the white controller, and Destiny.
Yeah,
And I didn't catch
I-
the price. Is it still $3.99?
oh god,
The
I
whole
don't know. I
bundle?
don't think they said. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
write
didn't
it
catch a
down.
price.
I just wrote down September 9th. I would think it's gonna be like
Yeah.
460 with it's gonna be this
Yeah,
like
I don't know if they're
full-time
gonna
price.
do it or like they did with Titanfall for Xbox, where they made it the same price, but they threw in Titanfall.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know.
I kind of regret buying
Um,
my PS4 so early. I wish I would
I
have bought
know. I'd
this.
get that one. Looks
Yeah,
awesome.
looks fucking sick, but
But they also announced that there's going to be exclusive content for PlayStation. There's going to be
yeah,
exclusive like Mars Strikes missions
yeah,
and exclusive guns and stuff like that for PlayStation.
yeah. Even though this game's gonna be like hundreds of hours long, so I mean, it's not really.
Yeah, so definitely Destiny is favoring Sony.
Yeah,
Um, which is funny since it's Bungie, but you know.
yeah.
So they showed that. Then we finally got a demo of the Order 1886.
My God, is this game beautiful?
Yeah, the graphics are stunning.
Stunning, like
The
nearly
lighting,
photorealistic graphics.
it was scary. It was like a scary trailer
Yeah, it actually was.
of a guy like going through a building with this old style lantern,
Yeah,
and he comes up on this creature like eating another person or whatever,
yeah.
and
I'm
then
like,
all of a
is this a
sudden he like
zombie?
morphs into like this werewolf thing
Yeah,
that starts chasing him, and then they have like shooting segments, and the creature like knocks him into a room or something.
yeah. It throws him through a
Um,
window,
yeah,
cuts him,
it's
throws him in.
third person too.
Yeah.
I originally thought when they announced it was first person.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it
but
looks really good.
yeah, it
I mean,
looks awesome, and it's like steampunk
graphically,
and
one of the better games I've seen.
yeah, it
No
looks
doubt.
really really good, and
Mhm.
I'm glad we
I don't
finally got
know.
a demo of that.
Yeah, I don't know if
Um,
are they gonna have those bars that were up on the top and the bottom the whole game? Like it's supposed to be really like a movie? I mean, if they do, that's gonna
I
be
don't
stupid.
know.
Because they had
I
like
really
those
don't.
movie, bars
Yeah.
up on top. I don't know.
Did they give a release date for it?
No, I didn't write one down,
Yeah,
so
me neither. So
I don't think they did. I think it's coming out February next year.
Huh. Okay. Well, they also announced a game called Entwined,
Hmm.
which I think is available right now.
Yeah,
And
they said it's
I don't
available
know a
that day.
lot about this because my stream was effing up during this.
Oh, was it?
But
Yeah, it's actually they said, and I actually wrote down like a little synopsis of what the game is. It's about two souls that fall in love but can't be together, and it uses the DualShock sticks to guide two characters through these like really trippy looking. I don't know, like I don't even know how to explain it. Just really trippy looking areas, and you're like flying, and you're like a bird and a fish, and I guess it's kind of like a Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, where you're like controlling two different characters with one stick each, and
yeah.
you're trying like to get all the little jewels or whatever. And I don't know, it just looks really artsy. And yeah, they said it's available that day for $10. So, and it's made by a indie studio.
Yeah. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
Then they announced that they're coming out with DLC for Infamous Second Son called First Light, which is
Right.
about Fetch, who is the
Mhm.
girl in the game. I'm Infamous Second Son didn't really blow me away, so
Yeah,
I'm not really
me neither.
interested in
I
the
guess it's going to be
DLC.
standalone, so you don't have to
Yeah,
have the
you can
game.
get it even if you don't have the game, but I'm not interested. I wasn't that impressed with it.
Yeah, it was just too. It felt too short to me.
Yeah,
But
I just felt it was too much like all the other Infamous games, and
yeah,
it just wasn't. It was too repetitive for me.
yeah,
The game, there just wasn't enough variety, and the new
right.
character didn't
I,
grab
I
me.
actually platinumed it though. That's how. That's
Really?
how. Yeah, that was my first platinum. It was actually pretty
Wow.
cool. But yeah, it came out. This DLC comes out August 2014.
Okay. So
So
pretty soon.
that's yeah.
So the next was a pretty big announcement. They announced Little Big Planet 3. And we've got new characters, 3 new characters. You know, it looks like Little Big Planet.
Yeah, it was
And
actually it was actually pretty surprising to me because I heard before, I watched some things before the E3 that came out. They said that Media Molecule wasn't going to be there to show off anything, and then Little Big Planet comes up, and I guess it's going to be made by this place called Sumo Digital,
Yeah, it's
and
not Media Molecule.
yeah, it's not even Media Molecule, so we don't even know what Media Molecule is working on.
Right.
Uh,
Well, last time we
so
saw them, they did that stupid stuff with the move,
yeah,
and they
what
were
was that
doing
called?
the.
Puppeteer? Or no, Storybook or something?
It was, I don't know.
I
They were
don't know
like
what it was.
drawing. They were like making clay things out of it
Yeah.
for like
Oh my God.
architects or something, and I was like, "What is this?"
What
So
is this?
anyway, they did a live demo, 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool, and
Yeah,
it comes out
graphics
in
look really cool.
November.
Yep.
So this game that was no one knew about is coming out this year.
Yeah, it's coming out before
So
everything we heard about last E3,
right.
basically,
So
which
new
is
Little
pretty
Big
funny.
Planet. Then they showed a game that a lot of people were waiting for.
Oh, but wait, hold on. One last thing. They said that Little Big Planet 3, you can actually play all the previously created levels from 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Uh, and you can play it all in 3 with improved graphics, which is really cool.
yeah. Day one, I think they said.
Yeah, day one, so that's really cool.
So we'll see if that's actually true,
Yeah.
or if they're like day one, they're like, oh, we need more time.
Oh, it's coming out next year. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. So then, all right, we got a game that I'm extremely excited for, and it was a game that we heard a lot of rumors about. There was like a 20-second clip that was quote leaked.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure it was on purpose given the timing.
Oh yeah.
It's a new IP from Software, the company that made obviously Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 and 2. And the game director is the guy that actually did Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1. He did not do Dark Souls 2, I guess because he was working on this game.
Right. Yeah.
And it's called Bloodborne.
Yep.
And it was a trailer, extremely dark, gory, and but it's hard to take anything away from it because without gameplay, we don't know what this is going to be. Is it going to play like a Souls game?
Right. Yeah.
Is it something totally new?
Yeah.
I would
so I
guess
guess
it's
it's.
probably pretty similar
Yeah. Is it going to be?
to the Souls games.
Is it going to be exclusive to PS4?
Yeah, it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, because I guess
So
Dark or Demon Souls was exclusive to
yes,
PS3, and Sony didn't like acquire the studio because they didn't think it was going to be something like that huge, like it became,
right,
and so they got like taken by Bando Namco,
right,
or Bandai Namco. What the hell did I say?
yeah.
Yeah. So and I guess it's coming 2015. So yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
and
looks cool.
Dark Souls, both of them are cross-platform, but this one's not.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big get for Sony.
Yeah, that really is.
That's a big coup because,
That's a huge series.
yeah, and a lot of people play those games on PC,
Yeah.
and so that's big. I honestly think they're going to sell a lot of PlayStation 4s just
Yeah, I
for
really
this
do.
game. Even my friend Tyler was telling me that
It's a
this
huge
is
series.
what he's been waiting for to buy a PS4. So
Wow.
I think they're going to sell a lot of consoles because of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about it because I love Dark Souls 1 and 2.
Yep.
Just got through with 2, and I played Dark Souls 1 a couple months ago.
Damn, you beat 2 already?
Yeah,
Wow.
I beat it in a couple weeks. I couldn't stop playing it.
Which one was harder?
I think 1 overall was harder,
Oh, okay.
but 2 is harder in different aspects. So,
Hmm.
but I really enjoyed both. They're 2 of my favorite games, and so I'm looking forward to Bloodborne. It was cool that that's what Project Beast was.
Yeah, Project Beast.
So they've officially, confirmed it, which is
Yeah, that's
nice.
cool. And it got a name too, so.
Yeah, and it has a name. Then we got a demo, finally, of Far
Yeah.
Cry 4,
My God.
and
This game is beautiful.
it looks awesome.
Wow.
It seems like the gameplay is pretty much sort of the same from Far Cry 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you remember they had like wild animals and stuff in Far Cry 3, and this one they have like elephants.
Yeah, they had elephants.
And
They had like goats. They had sheep.
yeah, they were taking over one of the strongholds, which was a big
Yeah.
part of Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
And they had like an elephant come and knock over a truck and like blow it up.
Yeah, that was fucking
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, it's set in the Himalayas. So
Yeah,
it's a
it reminds me a lot
different
of
sort
Uncharted 2.
Yeah, it's very mountainous.
Yeah, very nice nice setting.
There's a wingsuit in this
Yeah,
game. You
was
can
awesome.
actually shoot while you're driving your car.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was cool too.
And like he was driving the car and it went off a cliff. So
Yeah,
he jumped
well, first
out and
he
pulled the
jumped into the
wingsuit.
other car and stabbed the guy in the face.
Yeah, you can
Took
you
over
can
his car.
steal other guys' cars. It looks
That's
awesome.
Mhm.
And then they made an announcement, it shocked me.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, blew my
But
mind.
there's co-op in Far Cry 4, so another
Mhm.
game you and I can team up,
Yeah,
and you can actually invite friends to play the game with you, even if they don't have Far Cry 4.
that is fucking awesome.
And that feature is exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah, that's
So
huge.
on Xbox and PC, the other player will have to own the game to invite them.
Hmm.
Now they really didn't make it clear how this is going to work.
Yeah,
Like if the other player is going to have to download a small application or something. But yeah,
that's fucking cool.
as long as you own the game, you can invite your friends, even if they don't own it, to join your game in co-op.
Yeah,
Jolly cooperation. So that's pretty awesome.
that's gonna be a fun ass game to play co-op.
Yeah,
You can
and,
drive the little helicopter, shoot the
Right.
shit out of everyone. That was awesome.
and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be buying this game.
Yeah, me too.
Comes out in November, so
I mean,
I
and
might
it's awesome
be,
because we don't really have to wait that long. Like, it's not going to be
Right.
like next year, which is awesome
I think I might get it for Christmas
for
since
Christmas.
it's so close. I don't have to wait an extra month, and then I don't have to spend my own money.
Yeah.
But I got Far Cry 4 for Christmas last year, so
Oh, you did?
yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
I'll
that's
probably
right. That's
wind
right.
up-
Yeah.
I'll probably wind up getting it. But unlike Far Cry 3, I will be doing a playthrough of Far Cry 4.
Yeah.
'Cause, I didn't know Far Cry 3 was going to be as good as it was.
Yeah. Everyone
So,
was shocked by it. They're like, "Wow, what the
Yeah,
hell?"
came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So this one I'll
Let's get-
definitely be doing a playthrough of, and hopefully we can do some co-op. Should
Yeah.
be fun.
I mean,
So-
I'll probably get it that the day it comes out and like beat it, but I'll just keep it so we can play co-op,
Yeah,
which is
I
gonna be
want it
fucking fun.
when it comes out, but
Yeah. I mean, why?
I
If
can
you can
save
get it
$60
for
bucks.
yeah,
so
with your own money.
right. So then they showed a trailer for a game that came out of nowhere,
I was like, what?
and
the fuck?
for Brandon and I, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, this is like the game, our very first
Yes.
co-op game we've ever done.
So the trailer starts off, and it kind of, when they said what the game was, it surprised me because the graphical style does not remind me of the first game at all.
At all.
It looks more cartoonish,
Yeah.
and it starts off with a guy who's like jogging, and it shows he has like a zombie bite on
This
his
is probably
arm.
like the best trailer at one of the best trailers.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And the
It's
guy
hilarious.
pulls like the sweatband up over his arm
Yeah.
to hide the zombie bite, and he starts running with his headphones on, and he sees like some hot girl pass him. He's like
Yeah.
trying to mack it to her,
Yeah, he's like, suck my
and
dick.
she's on like roller skates going the other way, and she goes behind him and it's like flicking him off.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden these zombies come out of nowhere and freaking like attack her, and they're eating her.
I'm like,
and
what
then-
the fuck's that?
Yeah, the camera's like showing the front of him, so you can see everything that's going on behind him, and he's completely oblivious because he has his headphones on.
Yeah.
And you see zombies just start like wrecking stuff, and stuff's blowing up, and they're like ripping people out of cars and eating them.
Helicopters
and
are
then-
flying out of the air.
Yeah, helicopters are coming down, like crashing everywhere, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden, like as the guy's running, he turns into a zombie,
Yeah, it was
And,
fucking gross.
and you can see him running like the zombie with all these other ones, and then eventually this car comes up behind him, and somebody reaches out and like bonks him in the head with something, and then it goes, Dead Island 2,
Yeah, I'm like,
and we're
what
like,
the hell?
what?
I was like,
Like-
oh shit.
I was not expecting Dead Island 2.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Um,
set on Venice Beach.
yeah, it's completely different. You know, I assume there's going to be all new characters, a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
No Sam B, unfortunately.
yeah, I know, but maybe there'll be a replacement.
Yeah, Sam
But
Sam C.
yeah, Sam C, the rapper from Southside LA.
Yeah.
But I
Who do
mean,
you Gucci? Who?
what the? Yes. Well, we can't use that song. It's not
Yeah.
the same song, man.
Same song.
But I'm actually kind of excited because
Yeah, that
I
game-
really enjoyed playing Dead Island 1 co-op.
Yeah, Dead Island 1 was awesome. Dead Island Riptide sucked
Dead
my
Island
balls.
Riptide was not good.
I mean, it was
but-
fun co-op, but like it was just
Yeah.
not.
And then, but I think the reason is that the real guys were working on this.
Right,
They were
yeah.
working on Dead Island 2. And it looks like a completely new experience.
Mhm.
With sort of the new sort of graphical style. I think they're kind of embracing the fact that the game turned into like a silly thing.
Yeah.
They presented it so much different because you remember the first game, it was like that really sad reverse trailer.
Yeah, that
of
trailer
the family.
that was a really good trailer.
Yeah, but it was like all super serious.
Yeah.
But the game wasn't serious at all.
Yeah, I got the game. I'm
Um,
like, what the hell?
Yeah, so I think they're kind of embracing this new sort of silliness
Right.
for their games, and but
I
they
think it's
didn't
gonna be
give
awesome.
a release date or anything. I'm looking forward to it though. I think you
Yeah,
and
same
I
here.
gotta co-op that.
Yeah, there's
and,
there's so many co-op games.
I know, it's
gonna be
awesome.
fucking amazing.
So I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna make up for Riptide with 2.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
So that was announced. Then we had a trailer for Battlefield Hardline.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what that was about.
I think it was just the trailer that leaked earlier, and then they said, yeah, we announced that there's going to be a beta. So it was just like
Right.
a little short thing that they
I
announced.
forgot to mention, for Dead Island 2, there's going to be exclusive PlayStation beta for it.
Yeah.
I don't know when.
Oh, is there?
It's what I have written down. I have beta PlayStation exclusive next to Dead
Oh.
Island 2.
Oh, I didn't get
So-
that. That's cool.
Yeah. Maybe I wrote it down in the wrong spot, but that's where I have it.
Yeah.
So then we moved on, and they announced a partnership with Disney where they're going to include Marvel characters in
Like the
Disney
Hulk.
Infinity 2.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Hulk.
yeah. And yeah, there's some point in the conference where it just goes Hulk smash really freaking
Yeah.
loud, like out of nowhere.
And the guy's
And-
like, yeah.
The guy's like, "Yeah, Hulk smash is right." It was
Yeah, 'cause
hilarious.
You could tell it was a mess up.
Oh yeah, it's a freaking bug, but it was hilarious. Like he's just talking and he goes Hulk smash.
Yeah.
It's like what?
I'm like, what the fuck?
But yeah. Then they announced the exclusive content for Destiny. So I guess we kind of jumped the gun a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Then they announced that Magicka 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. They had a hilarious trailer
Yeah.
where there was like this wizard in like a red robe. You couldn't see his face, and he's like in his apartment. He's got like pizza boxes stacked up and everything, and
He's unemployed.
yeah, they show he's like been unemployed for a long time, and he's like watching TV and stuff, and then they show him like doing mishaps and stuff. Like
Yeah.
he's freaking sitting there like hitting his magic staff, and all of a sudden like lightning shoots out and bounces around his walls and like kills his cat. And he's just like all depressed, and he's like he's looking through like job descriptions or something, and he gets the one, and it's like driver's license required.
Yeah, he's like,
And
oh
you
shit.
just see him like sigh, and then he's looking through, and all of a sudden he sees like, oh, he has like a picture of him with the other wizards from Magical 1.
yeah.
They're like all having a good time, and he's like all depressed looking at it. And then he sees in the paper, oh, now hiring wizards for Magica 2. So he gets all happy, and then they show the trailer for the game, and
It didn't look like a game I'd be interested in. So.
yeah, it looks like a real-time strategy game or something like that.
Yeah. The trailer was hilarious, though.
Yeah, the trailer was really funny. Then they announce that they are remaking a cult classic from Tim Schafer called Grim Fandango. I've never
no
heard
idea
of the
what
game.
it is.
but apparently it was in the 90s. It was like a cult hit or something.
Yeah, and
They're
the way they
remaking it.
announced it was freaking hilarious.
Yeah,
They had the guy. They had like a little. They act like it was a little kid that wrote a letter in
right.
about how he wanted the like new like games to come back, remaster them,
Yeah, the
and
old
like he's like
classics to
somebody
come
Tim
back.
Schafer, and then you see like a thumbprint, and it goes up, and you see his beard,
Yeah.
and then you see his face.
Yeah, it's Tim Schafer who wrote the letter, like a 2-year-old.
Yeah, it was
It's
hilarious.
funny. So they're remaking it for PlayStation 4 and PS Vita.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
I have to look into it. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
And then they showed another indie game montage from Devolver Publications.
You got Broforce, you got
yeah.
Titan Souls, you got Not a Hero, and you got Hotline Miami 2.
Yeah.
Which
So
are all
they're
games.
Devolver's publishing a bunch of indie games for PlayStation.
Yeah.
So good for them.
hmm
Then they showed a new game from Suda51. And it's called Let It Die. It's a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Yep.
And the trailer was really weird. It was really brutal.
Yeah, it was
like
really strange.
It was like live action, but
Not
people
really.
had like energy bars.
Yeah.
And when they would damage them, like, damage would fly out of them, like damage numbers. And there was a lot of blood, a lot of killing, but you really didn't know what the game was about.
Yeah.
Again, no time frame or anything, just Let It Die, PS4 exclusive from Suda51.
Coming 2015.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't write the date down. Then
yeah.
they showed off a cool game called Abzu,
hmm
and I guess it's from the makers of Journey.
And yeah, I just recently played Journey, and that game's amazing. Really
Yeah.
cool.
So this looks like it's a water game, underwater.
Yeah.
So I guess it's gonna kind of be like Journey. It's gonna be an artistic experience.
Yep.
It's
It's gonna have the same
cool.
composer.
Yeah, it's got basically the same team that did
Right.
Journey behind it, and so it's probably gonna be a pretty cool game, pretty artistic and stuff like that. So then they showed off a game that we talked about a little bit last year when it was announced,
Yeah.
but we really didn't know what it was.
Right.
It's called No Man's Sky, and it's from a very, very small indie development team. And first of all, they showed like a trailer for it, and the first thing that jumps out at you is the graphical design.
Amazing.
The colors are amazing, very deep, rich colors. It kind of reminded me of Ibn Ab a little bit.
Did it? Yeah. Yeah, kind
And
of.
the person's just like on a planet, and there's like dinosaurs and different stuff like that.
Humongous
And then,
rhino.
yeah, and then they like get in their ship, and they like take off, and they
Yeah.
go out into space.
Yeah, and if you
And,
remember last year, it was cool because you started out underwater. Like, you can go underwater here, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it looks awesome.
So
And you shoot off into space.
Right. So what the game basically is each player gets their own unique world that generates for them. So no two people will have the same experience. And even the guy who presented, he was part of the team, the development team, and he said, we don't even know, what you're going to see because
Yeah.
it just
Procedural.
randomly generates it.
Procedural.
And,
procedural. And
yeah,
it's
like
infinite.
during the... Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's it's like it's procedurally generated and it's infinite. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so like it goes on forever.
It's an infinite world, and like the demo, like you could see when he was walking around, it was like saying, "Oh, new species discovered" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I guess the game is just kind of about like exploring, seeing what you can see, and you can leave and go to different worlds and experience it, and it looks awesome.
It looks amazing.
And I love it when small development teams and stuff like this take big risks and step out and make a game that's like this.
Yeah, I mean, and like and the ships and stuff, and it looked like kind of like from Star Wars, and
Yeah.
and you shoot out from the planet, you go through space, you can do ship battles in there, you can shoot asteroids, blow them up,
Right.
and then you can go and you can land on another planet. Like, you can just go into its atmosphere and just land on it and see what's there. I mean, holy shit, it looks
So
amazing.
it's really cool. you're not exactly sure how the gameplay works, if it's just exploring or if there's a point to it, if you can build stuff, if you're trying to like keep your world alive or something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know that, but the game itself looks really cool, and I guess it's like Don't Starve and Minecraft and games like that, where it spawns it new every time.
Yeah.
And you have a unique experience every time you play.
That'd be amazing.
It's a game that you can play over and over and over and over because you'll never have the same experience twice.
And if it's a downloadable title for like $15-20, holy shit.
Yeah, which it probably will. I mean, indie games don't release $60, so
yeah,
it should be really cool.
Amazing.
So they talked about that. And then this is where we hit the point in the show where Sony wanted to shove all of the third-party stuff and the peripherals and the stuff that really slowed down the conference, and
yeah,
it was kind of boring after all the game, and then this kind of stuff. But
the only thing they announced really was like interesting was they're bringing YouTube to PS4.
Yeah,
that you can upload to YouTube now, which is
yeah. They started off talking about Project Morpheus.
Yeah, Project Morpheus.
The Sony VR.
Yeah.
They didn't say much about it except that it's supposed to work with the camera. It was pretty funny because the guy, he said something along the lines of like, yeah, you'll remember that last year when we announced the PlayStation 4, we made a big deal of talking about the PlayStation camera. And you hear the audience just start laughing. Like, there's people who are just cracking up laughing. Like,
yeah, he's like, which was optional. And then everyone's like, oh, shit.
Like, I don't know. It sounded like people were laughing at the whole PlayStation camera because it's a joke. And he just kind of shrugged it off and kept going and talks about how Project Morpheus is going to work with the camera. And they just said that you could demo it at the booths or whatever. But they didn't really say much about it. Then, they talked about YouTube to PSN. You can directly upload now to YouTube from the PlayStation 4, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And, of course, you can browse YouTube through it.
Mm-hmm.
They're adding changes to the live streaming, the broadcasting of PS4. You can now, like, design your own sort of what they call, recording studio or whatever. You can put, like, pictures up there. You can make, like, a border for your streams and stuff. And this part was like, what? Because the guy was like, man, have you ever been watching a cheap horror movie and you just wanted to scream at the people, don't go through that door? Well, now, when you're streaming, your audience can do that to you while you're playing the game. And I'm like,
they can manipulate your game. I'm like, what?
I'm like, why would I want that?
I'm like, what?
Why would I want, when I'm playing a game, would I want random people, I don't know, screaming stuff at me, telling me how to play the game?
Yeah, I remember last...
Who wants that?
I know. I remember last E3, they said that that you can have your... Like, if you're playing a game and you don't know what to do, you can have your friend take over your controller and, like, help you through it, which I thought was cool. But now they're saying people, like, manipulate your stream? Like, what?
Yeah, they're like,
Stupid.
now you can scream and they'll hear you. I'm like, yeah, that's just what I want. A bunch of people screaming at me while I'm trying to play a game.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like, that's just a stupid idea.
Yeah, that was dumb. And
So
what I realized with this guy, he likes to point a lot. He likes to, when he talks, he like points at you. He's like, so now he's like pointing at everyone.
Yeah. You motherfuckers, listen to me.
Yeah, you listen here.
So then they announced that there's going to be like 25 free-to-play games coming out in the next year for PlayStation.
Yeah, like PlanetSide 2 and Guns Up.
Guns Up.
Guns Up.
Texas Tech. I don't know what that's about. They announced that there's going to be a beta for PlayStation Now, which is going to begin on July the 31st. That's their streaming service where you can stream like PS3 games and stuff like that.
Right.
Apparently, it also works with some Sony TVs, which I don't really understand because I don't know how a TV can render and play a game.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really get that, but apparently...
That'd be cool if it works, though.
Yeah, I still don't completely understand the whole thing. I mean, I have Samsung TV anyway, so it's useless to me, but... So they talked about that, and then they talked about PlayStation TV, which is $100. and apparently it lets you hook it up to any TV, so you can play your PlayStation on any TV. You know, which I don't get, because I don't know why you can't just unplug an HDMI cord from one and plug it into another.
Yeah.
A TV. It's like the remote play with Wii U. It's like, okay. I guess they said like there's some features of PS Now that will be available on the PS TV.
Yeah.
Certainly there wasn't anything in there that made me want to spend $100.
Oh no.
I didn't get that.
I guess I heard that you can like, yeah, you can like pair you can pair it with another TV, so like the person can play PS4 games on the other TV without having a PS4, which I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, then they moved on to actual more gameplay, which was pretty cool. They finally had gameplay of Mortal Kombat. They call it Mortal Kombat X, but I mean it's Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah.
So, okay, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a coincidence that they named it X and it also happens to be the 10th.
I don't know.
Because some people call the last one MK9. Right. Even though it was just called Mortal Kombat because it's confusing. Because there's 2 games that are Mortal Kombat now. But anyway, whatever you want to call it. Mortal Kombat X10, whatever gets you off. They showed gameplay of it. They showed a fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. The combat engine looks the same, but they have the character has some new moves. Like there was a move that Sub-Zero did where he made like the ice clone, but now he can pick it up and throw it at the enemy.
Yeah.
There's some different moves that I recognize, but basically it looks the same. Then they showed 2 new characters. I don't know if they're new to the Mortal Kombat universe. I don't recognize them, but they're new to this game from the last one. They weren't in the last one. You know, they still have the X-ray moves and obviously the fatalities and stuff. So, I mean, you know, it looks like another solid Mortal Kombat.
Right.
I know the story mode of the last Mortal Kombat was exceptional.
Yeah.
So, and the story mode of Injustice. So whenever NetherRealms or whatever makes a fighting game, they put a lot into the story mode. So, you know, I don't play fighting games, but I enjoy watching them. So I'll probably watch someone play through Mortal Kombat 10, and hopefully the story's as good as the last one was. But so that was pretty cool to finally see gameplay of it. Then we went back into stuff that was boring.
Fucking Powers.
Yeah, there's a exclusive TV show based off the graphic novel Powers, which is written by a guy who I guess he's worked with Marvel for years, and he and another guy wrote this graphic novel called Powers. Now they're making a show out of it. I think Cameron Ridley is directing it, or something, but it's gonna be exclusively on PlayStation. The first episode, everybody on PlayStation can watch, but you can get the entire series of Powers for free if you're subscribed to Plus.
Right.
So I might check it out. I mean, I get it for free because I have Plus, but I've never heard of it. I've never heard of Powers. But apparently they're making a show.
Yeah.
Then they show Ratchet and Clank the movie, which I don't know why they have to waste E3 time with this stuff. I don't know why you announce this kind of stuff at E3.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So now they're making a Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper movie?
I guess.
Yeah. Because they announced the Sly Cooper movie like last couple months ago.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
They're doing a remake of Ratchet and Clank 1.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean they've remade about everything else. They had the Sly Cooper collection and all that stuff.
I think they already remade. I think they already remade Ratchet and Clank, all the games.
Well, I thought they had a collection too.
Yeah, they did.
But you heard them last night. They're remaking.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're putting it on PS4 now.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Then they announced that they are... Well, they didn't really announce. We've been knowing this, but they talked more about the fact that they're bringing The Last of Us to PS4. I guess somehow it's going to look better.
Yeah, it's gonna
I
have
mean,
like
it looks
1080p,
fantastic on
60
PS3,
FPS.
but I mean, I wasn't crazy about the game, but I'm not going to argue that the graphics were amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it before either, but I replayed it recently and I loved it. So I'm kind of excited about it. And
Yeah.
I like the multiplayer too. So
Yeah, it's just Brandon and I were talking about this. It's weird. We don't know who this is targeted for, because you would think that this would be targeted for people who haven't played the game yet. Because
yeah,
I don't know people who have just played it last year on PS3 who are going to rebuy it just for PS4. So
yeah,
you think they're doing this trying to get people to buy a PlayStation 4.
right.
But they show a trailer, and the first thing they do is spoil it.
They spoil
It's
like most of the
Yeah,
intense
they're
parts
like,
of the fucking game.
they're like, oh, this trailer may contain spoilers, and then the first scene is a gigantic spoiler.
Yeah, you're like,
It's like, so who's your target here, Sony? Because
yeah, that didn't make sense.
you just spoiled it for you spoiled parts of the game for people who haven't played it, but people who it's not a spoiler for, who have already played the game, probably aren't going to go rebuy it. So it's like, what's the deal here?
Yeah, I don't know.
So we got The Last of Us and Halo 4 spoiled for us during this
Yeah,
day.
2 fucking games.
Yeah, 2 games spoiled. At least I played one of them.
Yeah, same here.
But
I'm
so
still
they're
probably
remaking
gonna
it.
get the Halo collection just to play it.
Oh yeah. So
But, yeah, I mean that was a weird move by Sony. I don't know why the fuck
yeah,
they did
I don't
that.
know why they played a
They
spoiler
should have showed
trailer.
some gameplay or something.
Yeah, but like some comparative gameplay comparing PS4 and PS3 to see the improvements.
Right.
But whatever.
Okay.
Then they showed another trailer for Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. The trailer made absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand it a little bit, because I guess in what's it called, Peace Walker, they started building the thing that looks like Big Shell that they were on,
Right.
and I guess that's like done, and because Big Shell isn't even like thought about in this era, because this takes place after Peace Walker.
Right.
So I'm thinking this is kind of like my personal thing, but I think it's when Solid Snake kills Big Boss, because I don't know if anybody's played Metal Gear Solid 1, but Snake actually says like he had to kill his own dad. So like this might be when he kills him in Zanzibar. But yeah, I mean I don't know. This is my guess, and like people were saying like the little kid in the trailer is Raiden when he's young, because he was a child soldier. So I don't know. This could be really interesting if because this is Hideo Kojima's like last Metal Gear game he's doing. So hopefully it's really good. Yeah.
Do we have a release date for Metal Gear Solid 5?
Nope.
They
Not
still
yet.
haven't announced a release?
Not yet.
That's really weird, considering they already came out with Ground Zeroes. You would think if they were that close, then...
Yeah, well, I guess he released Ground Zeroes just to hold people over until, because I guess it's going to be like a really big
But
game. So
I know a lot of people weren't too happy with Ground Zeroes. Because
yeah,
it was $30, and it was like an hour.
$30 for
But,
like a 5 minute. I mean,
yeah, like I think people were just like, why not release that as a free demo? Why charge 30?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's to get money, but it's like,
right. I think
People-
he was. I guess he was aiming for people like that are really into it and like doing speed. Like my friend Daniel, he likes doing speed runs of the game, like playing it and like seeing how fast he can do it and like how quick and like I guess he just wants people to replay it and like see how the gameplay works and stuff. So I mean, I don't think he should charge us $30 for it.
yeah, that's fine and all, but why has it got to be $30? You know, I think
Yeah, it
people
should have
were
been like maybe
expecting
like 15.
3 to 4 hours of
Yeah,
setup for that price, but they
Yeah.
basically got a demo
yeah.
that was $30. I guess the days of the free demo are done.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I remember back in the
definitely.
day, I used to download demos to a game. I mean, I know on PC you can still get demos and stuff, but
Right.
anyway, they showed that trailer. Then they announced that GTA 5 is going to be ported to PS4. Same kind of thing with The Last of Us. I don't really understand it unless they're just trying to market the PS4 to those who don't have it, or
I mean,
PS3,
this Grand Theft
or an
Auto
Xbox
5
360.
Grand Theft Auto 5 makes less sense than The Last of Us if you
Yeah.
think about it, because Who everyone under the fucking sun has Grand Theft Auto 5, 4, 360, and PS3. I mean,
Right.
I don't understand
I
why
don't
they.
know.
I mean, this you
Yeah,
can
because it
tell it's a
wasn't an
cash grab,
exclusive.
huh?
Like at least The Last of Us was a PlayStation exclusive.
Right? Yeah,
So people who had a 360 or whatever could buy
yeah. Because
the
that
PS4
kind of, I
and
mean,
play
that
it,
kind of
but
is does kind of make sense. But this, like, what? As you can tell, they just want to make more money. But who
yeah,
doesn't? So
I don't really know what that was about.
yeah, and they said that
Um,
your PS3 and Xbox 360 multiplayer progress will transfer to
yeah,
PS4.
it's only multiplayer, not your campaign
Yeah,
saves.
yeah, just
So,
multiplayer,
right.
which is pretty cool.
All right. So then they finish off the conference with a bang. Two big
Yeah,
games.
amazing.
We got our first gameplay look at Batman Arkham Knight. It looks fantastic.
Oh my god, dude, it's
Um,
beautiful, amazing,
yeah, it's awesome. We got to see the Batmobile in action.
awesome.
Uh,
You got to see some vehicular combat.
yeah, and the Batmobile can like freaking hover and like
Yeah,
scoot left and right, and
yeah.
he's like fighting in the Batmobile in the city, and then it like ejects him up in the air, and he seamlessly just opens the Batsuit and flies around the city, and
Oh my god, it looks so good.
it seems like a true open world Batman game. And
I loved
you know,
Arkham City. That game is amazing.
oh yeah, that game was fantastic, and this is supposedly Rocksteady's last Batman. So I know a lot of people were disappointed with Arkham Origins,
Yeah,
but Rocksteady didn't make it because they were working on this.
yeah,
So it's a shame it got delayed, but
right.
I think it's going to be amazing. So that's something to look forward to. And then finally, they teased us last year at E3 by saying there was going to be a new Uncharted.
Uh-huh.
This year we got a teaser trailer at least, and we got a name.
Yep.
It is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, and based off what was in the trailer and the name of the game, this is basically the end of Uncharted.
Yep.
Um,
And my
which
god,
I
is
think
it
is
beautiful?
yeah,
I mean,
I think it's good that they're ending Uncharted now,
yeah,
because I said after 3 that they either need to change it up or this is going to get old and
Yeah.
not as good. And I think that Naughty Dog is understanding that, and they're bringing it to a close.
and we still don't know what the hell went on back in February and March when all those people were like Amy Hennig.
Oh yeah, they all
was it-
left.
Yeah, was it Evan?
They all
what-
left the dev team.
Was it Evan
Well,
Wells? I mean, it wasn't Evan Wells, but
it might
Yeah.
have been. Again, they might have finished their work,
Yeah.
or something, or they knew that this was the last Uncharted, and so they got offers to go work on a new project, and they took it. Because they knew
yeah,
that
possibly.
after this, that Uncharted was no more.
Yeah, but it was weird
So,
because when they announced it back at like the PS4 launch, they said that they like named those people that like exclusively that they were working on the game. So people were like, oh, so it's going to be a true Uncharted game, because
Yeah.
Amy Hennig is a writer of all the Uncharted games and stuff. So like people are excited, and then they all leave
Yeah.
in the span of like a month. So like people are like, what
Well,
the hell's going on?
I wonder
And I
if
guess
she had the
Neil
story
Druck-
done. I mean, she could have written.
Yeah, but I guess Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley took it over. Like they're heading it now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
I still think it's going to be really good.
oh yeah, I'm sure it's
Um,
gonna be great.
The graphics in the game are the best I've ever seen.
Yeah,
just
no,
hands
seriously,
down.
like
I-
on it, like really the best I've ever
I've
seen.
never seen anything that looks even close.
I mean, they're
um,
talking about like you can see like when he raises his eyebrows, like the blood rushes away
Yeah,
and like it turns white. Like holy shit.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, he looks older.
Oh yeah, he does.
More grizzled, more beat up,
Yeah.
and he's having a conversation with Sully.
I mean, I wonder if Sully is like in a fucking
Yeah, he's gotta
wheelchair.
be
I mean, if
ancient.
Drake looks like that.
Yeah, but he's like talking to him, and he's like, "Man, I've been out of the game." Or Sully's like, "You've been out of the game too long."
Yeah.
And Drake's like, "No, I need to get back in it." And he's like, come on, Sully, are you gonna do it with me, one last time? And Sully's
Right.
like, all right, one final time, let's do it.
Hmm.
And it's called The Thief's End.
Yeah,
So
like some people noticed that he was still wearing his wedding ring.
yeah, he
So,
had his wedding ring on, so there's still gonna be some stuff about him and Elena.
yep.
The theme of the game seems extremely dark.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It
He
looks
was
really gritty. It looks really
Yeah,
awesome.
he was like in a dark jungle, and when they panned away, there was like these hanging cages with skeletons in it.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
And apparently there's an Easter egg that people noticed about. There was on one of the cages or something. There was like a Bible passage or something
Hmm.
that was like it was a line or something that was said by one of the thieves that was crucified with Jesus or something. And
Holy
he
shit.
said like I'm getting my just ends or whatever for what I did during my life.
Yeah.
And that was apparently hidden in the trailer.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
it all points to the end of the series, and of course let the speculation begin. Is Drake gonna die?
Yeah, I hope that he doesn't die. I mean, and if he does, I hope it's like in an epic way, like super heroic. But
I mean, if they kill him, I'd like to see how they do it because of how many things he survived.
seriously, the train,
hasn't killed him.
the train from Uncharted 2,
Yeah.
the helicopter chasing him down on the rooftops. I mean,
Every
this
other
guy's-
jump he makes in the game.
yeah, every fucking
Um,
jump.
But
I mean-
if he dies, I hope they do it like they did with like Marsden at the end of Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Like an epic death or
Yeah.
something. But
And people like were speculating that that he might what's it called? Like he's like somebody's captured Elena and like he has to find her. I don't know. Like cuz he says, I have to do this, like it's not something
Right.
like to find treasure, it's something I have to do.
yeah, I
So-
think it's going to be a different direction.
I
they're
think it's
gonna
gonna
go
be
in
a
different
different
direction
take
with
on
this
it.
game, and I mean, if those are the graphics, then
Dude, if those are the actual in-game graphics, I'm going to
Yeah.
fucking shit my pants.
I think this might set up to be one of the best games I've played in a long time.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
do it right and
And
do
it has
well,
those
and,
graphics and
yeah,
the theme's a
I'm-
little darker. I mean,
right.
holy shit.
I'm very much looking forward to it now.
Yeah.
And that's it. That was it for the conferences. Very
So,
impressed with this E3. I mean,
Yeah, really
they,
good.
they talked about games and had minimal nonsense and no
Yeah.
celebrities coming out and doing all kinds of stuff, and
Aisha Tyler was actually bearable.
yeah, and no like motion controls.
Yeah,
Just
none of that shit.
Games.
So what were you
Um,
like hoping? Like, were you hoping they would announce anything? Like,
Yeah, I mean, most of what I hoped for didn't get announced. I was hoping for a new Fallout
yeah, a lot of people were saying that.
because it's been a long time
Yeah,
since Bethesda actually made a game. I mean, the last Fallout they made was 3,
right.
and that was in 2008. So, and with Skyrim coming out 3 years ago,
Yeah,
you would hope for a Fallout 4, but it didn't happen. I had heard some rumors that Rockstar might make a Red Dead 2,
that's what I was hoping for, was a Red
but
Dead
it
2.
didn't get announced. I mean, this is like the first year, right, that wasn't a big Rockstar game that came out in May
Yeah,
or
yeah, that's true.
this year at all.
Yeah, so far
They've
they
had
haven't
big
announced
releases,
shit.
I think, since 2011. They had
So they must be
LA
working hard on
Noire.
next gen, huh?
They had LA Noire was 2011. 2012 was Max
Yeah, I
Payne
think-
3.
Yeah, that was Max Payne 3.
Last year was Grand Theft Auto 5, and this year I don't think we have anything.
Grand Theft Auto 5 Remastered, that's it.
Yeah, that doesn't count. But
I mean, yeah, I was hoping. I mean, I guess they're really working hard on next gen, make something good.
I
Hopefully, it
guess
is
so.
Red Dead 2, because that
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 would
game
be
was like
awesome.
one of the games of the generation or last generation
Right.
for me.
I think there were some notable things that were left out. Some sequels that could have been that weren't. No mention of another Dead Space.
Yeah, I wanted that too.
I guess because Visceral's been working on Battlefield.
Stupid.
Even though I wasn't really too impressed with Dead Space 3, but
Yeah.
I'm
I
kind of
still I still
surprised.
want a next gen Dead Space. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So we didn't hear anything about that. The Last Guardian
Yeah, everyone
um,
was saying this is going to be the year of The Last
remains
Guardian.
a mystery because they just had that erroneous report from IGN that said it was canceled.
Yeah.
Sony denied it, but we still haven't seen it.
I mean, yeah, they haven't released any. They didn't release anything for
Yeah.
PS3 generation. They've been dead, like silent for eight years,
Yeah,
and
it's this
they're
game's
still
been in
alive.
like
Like they're still,
development hell for like 7 years.
yeah, and they're still
So
a
if
studio. So
if it's not canceled, then where the hell is it?
yeah, because there's still a studio there.
Um,
So they're working on something.
yeah. So
I mean,
no Last Guardian.
that's
Um,
crazy. The last game they released was Shadow of the Colossus. And that was 2005.
right.
That's
And
nuts.
there were a few games, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know that there was a few games that they talked about last year that we didn't see any more of this year. So, and then obviously every year comes and goes, but the big ones don't come, no Half-Life 3 or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nothing from Valve.
No, yeah, nothing from Valve.
Of course, Kingdom Hearts 3 was that game for a long time, right? Where people thought never.
Right.
And it got announced last year.
Yeah,
But
and you remember
they didn't come this year.
yeah, they said that Kingdom Hearts 3 was way off, like,
Yeah.
that was just
Well, Square
teaser.
Enix didn't even come to the show.
Yeah, remember
And
they
they
had
weren't in any of the conferences.
Final Fantasy 15. That game looked amazing.
I mean, there were a few big studios that didn't really announce anything. I mean, Capcom. They
Yeah,
didn't do
the only
anything.
thing was that stupid Dead Rising DLC.
Right.
That was it.
Square Enix wasn't there.
Well, yeah, they did Tomb Raider, Square Enix.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, they published it.
Yeah.
Crystal Dynamics developed, but yeah. So they announced that. But
I mean,
what I took away from this conference was that finally there's a reason to get next gen.
yeah.
There's a lot of great games coming out at the end of this year. I think 2015 has the potential to be one of the best gaming years in a long time.
Not shit. Yeah, dude. Seriously, you got
Yeah.
Witcher 3. You got Batman. You got Uncharted.
I can't even name them all.
I mean,
There's too
yeah,
many.
Uncharted. You got. Holy shit! I mean,
Yeah, and
that's
it could
shaping
be
up
the
to be a
new.
huge year.
It could be the new 2011, which
Yeah,
I
my
thought
wallet-
was a
my wallet's
fantastic
gonna
year for
die.
games. Yeah, I'm gonna be poor as hell,
Yeah.
especially since I'm not working.
Yeah.
But all my graduation money's gonna go away very fast.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be a
But,
huge year.
A lot of great games and a lot of co-op
A
opportunities.
lot of co-op. A lot of
I
co-op.
mean, so
What's the one coming up? I mean, are you gonna get
Destiny's-
Assassin's Creed or?
I don't know if I'm gonna buy it. I might be getting games late because I can only rent one at a time.
Right.
And I might, what I might do is increase my plan to 2 games out at one time, just for the end of this year,
Yeah, you could.
because there's so many games, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be a few that I'm gonna purchase. Destiny I'll probably buy. Far Cry.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge
but,
co-op game.
I just don't have the money to buy all these games, so I might pick like
Right.
2 that I
So just
buy,
co-op.
and then
Co-
the rest I'll get, for Christmas. But I mean,
Yeah,
just
just
looking
co-op, we
down the
got-
list of games we can co-op, you got Assassin's Creed,
yeah.
you've got Destiny, obviously, Dead Island 2,
Mhm.
Far Cry 4.
Yep.
So, Rainbow
Awesome.
Six, whenever that comes out, play multiplayer,
Yeah, that looks amazing.
and
Dance
so,
Central.
yeah, I'll be sure to download that on my iPhone.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, that's Just Dance. I can't keep it straight because there's so
Oh yeah,
many
just
different
yeah,
ones,
Dance
but,
Central. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think finally, next gen is coming to fruition.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm really
I mean, you got
excited.
some must-own. You got some must-own titles
Yeah.
now. I mean, you got Uncharted, must-own. Batman, you can only get on next gen.
Yep.
I mean, I can't. Even
I'm a little surprised that they didn't announce like a Last of Us 2 or anything.
I know, me too. I
considering how
guess
well it
Uncharted
did.
was
You
is
know?
the main thing they're working on because they got another IP working. They got working on. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
heard. I
Yeah, I
guess
don't know
that's going to be the
what that's gonna be.
replacement for
Yeah,
Uncharted. But
yeah.
The Last of Us 2 is coming.
It has to. It has to
Um,
come. I
yeah,
mean,
it
people are.
sold too well.
Yeah, but
So
people are
probably next
just
year.
need it.
Yeah, probably next year we'll hear it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was the most critically acclaimed game ever.
Hmm.
So,
So they have to. I mean,
right, yeah. Yeah, it'll sell like crazy, so.
oh yeah,
But I'm excited. I'm
a
really
really
glad
good E3.
that
I would give it. What would you grade this E3 as a whole?
man, this E3 as a whole, I mean, I'm tempted to give it an A. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
this is what I wanted from E3.
Yeah,
No
this is what we
peripherals
expect.
or
You know.
extra nonsense, just games. Show us
Yeah.
more of the games we want. Give us new games. I mean, yeah, they could have showed us a little bit more of maybe Battlefront and Mass Effect, but if it's not ready, it's not ready.
Yeah, and they still. I mean,
Um,
what they showed us
I mean,
from
we got
Battlefront looks
Bloodborne.
amazing. So
Uh,
I'd probably give it like an A minus
yeah, I
as
mean,
a
just
whole.
because I didn't get the games I wanted doesn't
Yeah.
mean that I can rip the conference.
Right.
So,
I mean, it was still great. I mean, all games. I mean, that's what you
and I
expect.
mean, we can still get games that I want that just aren't announced at E3. You know, they announce games all the time
Right.
that aren't at E3. So, I think Bethesda did announce that they're working on Doom 4.
Oh yeah, that's right. Doom. I saw a trailer
Yeah.
for Doom today,
So that's coming too.
and I got the beta from Wolfenstein. So, I mean, that's gonna be cool.
So, all right, good stuff. Two
Yeah, good.
hours 45 minutes. It's the
Jeez.
longest E3 recap we've done.
Lots
I
of
don't
cool
know.
games coming out.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna really edit this too much, or just put it out there for people.
Yeah.
Because I want to get this up soon, and the editing
I
would
mean,
be
maybe
a nightmare on
maybe
this.
you could just put like Ubisoft, Sony, Microsoft,
Yeah, but
just so they know what
I'll
they're
do
talking
something
about.
with it tonight.
Yeah.
And get it up when I can. But
Yeah.
all right, it was awesome. I enjoyed
All right.
doing the brew. These are always my favorite brews to do.
Yeah, these
It's
are
an
fun.
exciting time, and I'm glad we got to talk about it. And I hope you guys enjoyed as well. So that's E3 2014. It's in the books, and
Great.
we look forward to a great end of 2014 and 2015 for games. And I can't wait to play these
One
games.
last thing. What was your game of E3 like? What were you like the most excited for
Wow.
throughout the whole?
That's a tough one. There was a lot of good games. Just looking through the list now. I mean, obviously, I'm excited about Bloodborne,
Yeah.
but The Order looked good to me. The Division still looks good. Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed even looks good.
Hmm.
Rainbow Six looks good. I mean, I don't know if I can really pick one. Mass Effect obviously coming back, and the indie games. I mean, No Man's Sky,
Yeah, No Man's Sky looks amazing.
The Rise of Tomb Raider. I'm looking forward to. Obviously, Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted.
I mean, Batman. I don't know. I don't know if I can pick one. There were too many good ones.
I'm gonna have to go with The Witcher 3 because I've been excited for that game and they finally showed gameplay and it looks really good. So I'm gonna have to go with The Witcher
I'm just
3.
not
Um,
big into The Witcher, but I'm sure it's probably going to be a good game. So
Yeah, and Uncharted 3 like right up there. I was excited to see like that they're gonna be going with a darker tone with it and it looks really good. So
yeah, I'm really excited for it.
those
now.
are like my top two.
Yeah.
Oh, and Batman. I mean, yeah, three games there
See,
were
it's
like
hard.
really amazing. Huh?
It's hard to pick one.
Yeah, it's hard to just pick
even
one.
two. But all right,
Yeah, it was really really good.
it's fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'm excited to bring these games to you on my channel.
Yeah.
Should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we get some co-op going. And
Yeah,
let's do
definitely.
it. I got games to play right now. I got Watch Dogs, and I got Wolfenstein, and
Well, maybe
And,
with Far Cry, if I get it, you can just play off mine. I mean, if
Yeah.
if that's true.
Yeah, maybe
I
so.
mean, that'd be
So,
fun. Yeah. So that was a good E3. I thought it was really good.
mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
Thanks for listening. If you listened the whole time, that's pretty cool. And
That's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool. And we'll see everybody later. So
All right.
thanks
See
for
ya.
watching, and peace out.